So I was cooking, but like I accidentally put my hand too close to the teapot that was already boiling. Apparently.
Understood.
Yeah.
Just came back from watching that new Avengers movie.
Ooh, must be good. Yeah.
It was real. It was very well done. I must say.
I heard a lot of good things about it.
Yeah, I was not disappointed.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing it soon. Yeah, ouchie.
Well, did you put what have you done? You have any cream? Did you?
No, I have like an ice cream tub against my arm right now.
Okay.
I know I'm gonna like it, Pete. I'm gonna watch it when Coop is visiting.
I didn't catch that last.
Oh, I'm just talking to stream.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Sean.
We're gonna do the whole thing one more time.
Hello.
What's up, Sean?
Not much. Just finished cooking dinner.
Same.
Nice.
It's always a struggle trying to get stuff done in time for this and not be the last one.
I hope you have more luck than me.
I caught something when I first joined that you were using a tub of ice cream to like cool your arm. Did you burn yourself?
So, yes, but like I steam burned myself because I had my teapot on, and my teapot was like missing that little cap where it like blocks the nozzle of the teapot. So
Right, so it doesn't just have rolling steam coming out of it at all times?
Yeah. So yeah, apparently the water was already boiling, and I went to like turn something on the pan and put my hand a little too close to the teapot and got steamed.
Yes, I was making iced tea for tomorrow morning at the same time as cooking the steak, at the same time as steaming broccoli. And I was trying to pay attention to the steak so it didn't get burned while pouring hot water into the tea, and poured it directly on my finger, and I wasn't staring at it. So I'm looking and I was like 1 1000, 2 1000, that's kind of warm, 3 1000, ow, 4 1000, fuck! And I look back down and I'm like, I'm pouring hot water on my finger. This is nice.
Absolute savage, bro. Doesn't give a fuck. Just pours the water on his finger like it's another day in the park.
Doesn't even make a fucking dent.
Doesn't make a fuck. Damn, bro.
Steam does. Steam makes a dent.
Oh yeah, no, it's, yeah.
Yeah, Steam's some vicious shit.
What up, son?
What up, Papito? So, you said Endgame was good, huh?
Yeah, very well done. Excellent ending.
I don't understand how anyone could not see that movie opening weekend, because it's so dangerous to go anywhere on the internet.
I'll tell you one thing. Reddit is doing a great job at not putting any spoilers. But also, I really don't give a fuck about the Avengers. Like, I'm gonna go see it, maybe. But realistically, I probably won't even see it in theaters, you know? I don't care enough.
Well, that is good for you. I care more than, I guess, the average person, maybe? Or maybe I care as much as the average person? I don't know. Hello.
I feel like I care more than an average person, but...
What do we care about more than average people?
Avengers.
Like spoilers or just in general?
In general.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty dank.
Dude, I mean, even though it was a meme because most of the DC movies do horribly, bro, the Justice League would fucking ruin Thanos, dude. It wouldn't even be close.
How?
Unless Superman got snapped, bro.
Right, well, if Superman stopped existing, then I think it would get squashed, but Superman in the DC, like, the DC Extended Universe, they call it the DCEU, which is what they call the movie universe, they're all pretty weak, except for Superman.
Yeah.
And Superman is just a nuclear bomb.
Dude, did he bench press the earth a few times?
In the comic books, he flew so fast around the Earth, he reversed its spin.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Which was supposed to turn back time, but in actuality, it would just cause worldwide flooding, pandemics, and tectonic plate shifting and kill all life on Earth.
Oh yeah, what, we're spinning at something like 1,000+ feet per, or 1,000+ miles per hour, like our rotation speed.
Mm-hmm.
If that were to suddenly come to a stop, imagine being flung to your fucking right at 1,000 miles per hour, along with your house, your car, fucking your cat, literally everything.
No, but dude, the Earth's flat, so like it wouldn't even work.
So we'd all go flying off the edge of the Earth then.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, Pete. Like, unpopular opinion, but Wonder Woman's movie was shit. MIO.
I thought it was pretty good.
I thought it was pretty shit.
Good old Gal, you know what I mean? First of all, who the fuck names their daughter Gal, bro?
I'm pretty
I know
sure she's
she's French.
Middle Eastern, so they don't have normal names.
Yeah,
Like,
but,
who the fuck names their kid Habib? Like, really?
Okay, but I mean, that's like a cultural thing. Gal is like,
Arguably also a cultural thing.
I mean, I don't think there's any argument there, to be honest, Scott. I think it is. Yo, guess who's recapping? Good old Joshy Poo.
There he is. There's the man of the hour.
Right on time.
I'm not recapping.
Yes,
You're
you are.
absolutely recapping, bro.
Okay, I'm not joining today. See you later.
Alright, bye.
Rip.
Skulker, we just leave.
Oh, he actually straight up dropped out. Well done.
He's gonna be back.
Damn, bro.
He'll come. He knows that he's recapping now, so he'll just come back in at exactly 6:30.
Okay, I was the first one here, so I'm definitely not recapping.
I recapped last week, so that immediately removes
Yeah,
me
you
from
volunteered
recapping.
yourself last week, so therefore, if it came to a volunteer decision, you were not obligated.
Well, I mean, regardless, dude, I fucking took my licks, you know what I mean? And Dad has...
I really didn't want to recap this week because I took shit notes last week.
Alright, I'll fucking recap again, okay? Is that fine?
Yes.
You should probably tell Josh.
Nah, fuck Josh, bro.
Skulker dies. A Kittery ate him.
Yeah, dude, at the end of the recap, I'm just gonna be like... When Flint draws preservation, puts it to the back of Skulker's head, and fucking blows his brains out.
And then he blows his own head off.
Boom.
Never to be seen again.
Please, there are no fucking players on this page. What do you mean?
Oh, I'm not. I just got back to a.
I'm trying to delete the map that I made last time. Just like,
Mickey
please move your players to a different page before deleting the page. Guess what, motherfucker? Everything's off.
Mickey Dudes. Kush residue. I'll have the smoke.
Oh yeah, we're still in the fucking Underdark. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The
Are
down,
we
down,
in the
deep,
middle of
dark, down.
combat right now, or did we finish off the Kittery? The Kitar, the
What?
bug things?
On kegs?
Yeah, the
Onkeg. I kept thinking they were called like Chitori or Kitori or something. With a K.
Chicken Gacciatori, dude? Yeah, no, they are on kegs.
On kegs.
Yeah, so we killed those, and I think that's where we left off.
Wrong notebook. Where's my actual notebook? Here it is. Ow. Freaking hand. Hurts.
Gagagoo.
Was
Lucas, what are you talking?
Baba boo. None.
Someone roll me a D3. Please.
Okay.
Anyone?
I got you.
Alright. Iga's got it.
D3, you say. There you go.
Excellent. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Don't mind me. Just passing through. Your friendly neighborhood DM.
A rift opens right next to Ego. Excuse me, can you roll a D3? What's a D3? Anybody ever watched a Harmon Quest?
Negatory.
First episode.
It's basically animated D&D, and it's kind of fun. I think they play Pathfinder rules, but they do stuff like that all the time. That the DM pops in as animated, like it just does like the finger thing. It's like, actually, this is how it works. It's like, shut up.
Alright. 2 is a pretty sweet roll.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know
Hope
what I
you all
rolled.
like death. XD.
Can we start with Skulker's death? Because
Hey, be nice.
no, hey, he's supposed
Be
to be
nice.
cabin. He was like,
Be
"Oh,
nice.
I'm gonna leave."
I will snap my whip. Be nice.
Yeah, but like, it doesn't really affect me, you know. If that's something that I'm enjoying. What?
I don't know, dude. A whip is 1d4 piercing damage, or 1d4 slashing damage. And your average human has like 4 health. If she crit damages you, she'll just fucking kill you.
Bro,
Just
do you even know?
whips your jugular and like.
Do you even know who? Do you even know who both the Bloodless is, bro? You don't, because you're a little bitch.
How is whoever the fuck that is relevant to you tanking a whip? IRL.
If you knew, you would know, dude. But you don't know. The only person who knows in the chat is my father.
Yeah, I'll give that a solid XD.
What did Alex used to do all the time?
Alex Tanko?
Yeah, do it. do it.
Oh.
Sounds like the fucking squirrel from Ice Age.
Dude, his name is. I was gonna say his name is enter name here, you fucking casual, but clearly I don't know what his name is, so I'm the fucking casual.
Seems legit.
Scrap?
Yo, you wanna know what's clutch? Scientists are giving us like 12 years to turn this shit around, though. Wasn't it like 2 years ago?
Are you
It was like
quoting
we
that
had,
from Lil Dicky?
nah. 2 years ago we had like,
nah.
30 years,
But yeah.
right? No, I heard what's it called?
No, I know, I'm just kidding.
A couple different places like repeating that 12
12
number.
years, dude?
Yo, like
Yeah,
in
we had
2016 they were like we have
we
until like
accelerated the
24 day.
schedule.
Like
Dude, that's
so next year
great.
it's gonna be like we have like 6 years.
Dude, that's great. It's a win-win, bro. It's either we all get wiped out and the world goes to absolute shit, and I'm
Nah, that's a lose-lose, dude. We still have to keep working that whole time. We're not old enough to retire. We're literally gonna work until the day the world ends. Fucking whack, bro. 40 plus hours a
Bro.
week.
You act like I won't go Rambo in the woods, bro.
That's true. You're much better equipped. If I want to fucking just say fuck it on Long Island, got about a
head up.
solid like couple months.
Come up, bro.
There's way too many people on Long Island, and that shit's gonna flood over like
Yeah, you guys
immediately.
are
Oh, yeah.
fucked, bro.
One good storm surge and like the entire like South Shore up to like
Dude,
Hempstead
come to me,
Turnpike
bro.
is just gonna be
1,000
toast.
feet in the air, dude, we're chilling. All right, just someone really have
Invest
to-
in ferries.
Invest in a
really
boat.
have to-
Mm-hmm. Who's right?
Hey,
Why is
Josh,
he right?
Josh, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. You're. I'm a generous god, bro. I'm gonna recap.
How
Okay,
gracious
generous
of you.
God. Recap.
Are you ready? You ready? Okay. So, the party of misfits on Misfit Island, XD, bro. Basically, we start off in the Underdark. We started last session meeting Darrow's brother, and his name is Stannis. We come to find out that Darrow and Stannis' father, is the Lord of the 8th layer of Hell. He proceeds to tell us that the devils, or demons, I think the demons and the fiends are basically waging all-out war against one another.
The devils and the fiends.
Okay,
Sorry to
I was
interrupt.
right the first time. Yeah, the devils and the fiends are waging all-out war against one another. And he let us know that if a devil kills a mortal, they become a devil, and if a fiend kills a mortal, they become a fiend. And so he lets us know that there's an orc war chief named Gargarensis, who's up in the north, who's summoning fiends to do his bidding. So you could say that our causes align with one another, because Stannis is trying to prevent the fiends from gaining the upper hand in, I guess, like the layer in hell. And in my notes I have, very specific, I say he fucking wipes out a knoll. Yeah, basically he doesn't even like flinch. The thing shoots him in the back, and he just kind of like he's like, why? And then he just turns around and blows the thing away. Actually, no. He picks it up, he like force chokes it, throws it into the portal, and thing gets ripped to shreds. He also let us know that the portal that we saw is one created by someone deliberately, and you can tell because, like mimics in Dark Souls, there is a little bit of a hint as to the origin of said portal. And he says that because the edges are jagged around the portal, it is one that was ripped open deliberately, as opposed to one just happening normally in nature. Then he lets us know that he gives us some Ignan chalk to help us. He was using it on the edges of the portal. Now, Connor, is that because is the Ignan chalk keeping the magic from the portal in check?
No,
Because
the Ignan chalk cancels it. Like the abyssal portals
Basically,
and Ignan chalk
cancels
cancel
it
each other out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
same with if you find a portal to the 9 hells and you have abyssal chalk, you can do the exact same thing. They'll just cancel each other out.
Yeah, but didn't he have to end up casting Dispel Magic anyway to get rid of it?
No, he did that for the gate thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So then we continue on our... and we had to make a decision whether to go towards the sound of the water in the Underdark or away from it. And we came, after much deliberation, we came to the decision that we would go away from the water. Kiri lets us know that although she doesn't really know exactly where we are, it seems that we're heading in the right direction. We end up in a cavern that has these like mildly acidic pools, littered on the ground and ranging in size. And we unsuccessfully sneak our way across to the other side, and we have to fight a giant Ankeg with a bunch of other small ones, and Flint loses his hat that we have to look that Skulker so graciously helped him look for a few hours, and then we end up continuing on, and I think that's where we stopped. Did I miss anything?
Not that I know of.
That was pretty much it. You guys found a bag of holding at the end?
Oh, yeah. Oh! And the last thing is, while we were looking for the hat, we found, I guess that's the bag of holding, but it had a mark on it, and Darrow knew that it was the mark for the wizard school, or the College of Winterfell, whatever the fuck it's called.
Mage Academy of Ascalon?
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, those fucking Randys.
Yeah, and the guy that we see, that's basically eaten away by acid on the edge of the pool looks like he's part of them, so.
Yeah, one might call him a corpse.
Corpse schmorps, dude.
Someone's
Ted
a
Bundy
little
would-
snappy today.
Ted Bundy would what?
Ted Bundy would... Never mind.
Do we want to hear?
No.
We're just about to get Ega Stream banned.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Forgot you were streaming. Alright. All right.
So you all have just pulled this bag out of the what's it called? Out of this pool of acid that you're all standing around, and you see that the cavern stretches on a little more. There's bioluminescent bacteria on the ceiling in here that are actually giving some dim light to the room, so you actually don't need to have your torches out. One just like sputtered out as you found this room, so you're at 1 for the day so far.
So I think Skulker, myself, and I think that was it. Were the only ones who were using torches, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, you were having one in the front and one in the back.
Yeah.
For the non-dark seeing normies.
Which is, I think, just Kiri and Papito.
I think so. Tieflings get dark vision, right? Do
What?
shifters get dark vision?
I have dark vision. Yeah, because I'm a shifter.
Word.
That's right.
Pretty sure Tieflings
Like,
have
is
it.
it because
Yeah, so
I'm a
just
rogue, or-
just Kiri and Scalfa.
Yeah. Also, we did level up after our long rest yesterday, so
You're all level 3 now.
Mhm.
Oh, I thought you meant level 4. Like, oh god, I did no research.
That feeling when the teacher's like, all right, now
Yeah.
everyone pull out the homework. You're just like, what? Oh.
And then the Olympic sport of doing it as she's collecting it. That's the
Oh,
best.
yeah.
I forgot to put it in. We're level
All right, so all right. We're getting up. We're derailing here a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Connor, set the stage for us real quick.
Set
Are
the
we just
stage.
gonna
All right.
rewind back to after we killed the Onkeg? You just want to start from there?
Interior shot. Dimly lit cavern. You hear the faint sounds of water dripping into like from the ceiling into pools of this like weird murky greenish kind of liquid. Some of these pools are more opaque than others. They're also varying sizes and depths. It looks like it's kind of the water dripping from the ceiling just into random like crevices and divots in the floor and such, you know. Like the water's dripping into naturally made things. You have seen these types of creatures like dig through rock and stuff before and like dirt, so it's not out of the imagination to think that they might be able to make a pit large enough if they wanted one that wasn't big enough. Yeah, we have faint bioluminescent, faint blue bioluminescent bacteria giving everything this odd sort of like, it's already been dark this whole time and it already seems like nighttime, but in the light of just these bacteria, everything looks like it's like nighttime almost in the Underdark, which feels dumb to say. But kind of smells like shit in here. There's some sacks of what you realize are eggs scattered about the cavern also. Here, you are distinctly aware that like the general incline of the topography in this room and on the trail you've been like traveling so far is leading you back to the surface in the general direction you're trying to go. You still have a ways to go, but you know this is like so far been what.
Okay.
So we should keep moving, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. So I kind of jumped the gun a little bit. I erased the map yesterday. Do you all remember it for the most part? Different size green pools.
Yeah. The edge of the map, you said, yeah, this isn't the edge of the room. The room goes on for like 4
Yeah,
times
yeah.
This that you see. I'm like, oh, okay.
Sick.
So, do we have torch out in here, or are we going by the bacteria?
Didn't you just say we didn't need
Bacterium is
No, I mean-
goofy.
Like, going forward, like, your torch just ran out before you got here. There was light, so you haven't had it out this far. Are you going to light one going forward?
Do we? What does it look like? Do you?
It's
Is it
dim
gonna-
light in here.
Is it going to inhibit our ability to accurately make decisions?
Or
No.
perceive the surroundings.
Maybe something small, like the size of a lizard, or like a hatchling.
Well,
crawling
we'll just
towards
rely on those that can have
Actually
dark
see it?
vision.
Yeah. Okay.
Whereas
Right.
the ones who don't have dark vision will just, see normally but not accurately.
All right. So if we're going through, I
Preserve our
need
torchlight.
everyone to make me stealth checks, please.
Great.
Okay.
Starting strong.
Okay.
Trash.
Okay. With your +8, Jesus, Josh. It's insane. Dad with the 23.
We're missing Shawnee, baby.
Saw me,
Yeah,
baby.
I'm walking back to the computer right now.
That'll do it.
I see you, bro. The little.
Yeah, Scotha with a nat 20.
Oh,
Right.
he
So
rolled
is that what that? Yo, you're fucking nice.
Dad, you're disgusting.
Yo, just wait here. Let's see how bad I fuck up.
You're nice.
Oh yeah. Darrow is deep in thoughts and not really looking where he's going. He's contemplating, I know who my dad is. Do I like that now? Was it better if I didn't know who my dad was? This is a lot.
He has
So as
learned
you make
nothing
it about
really.
what you estimate half the length of the room, you come across the largest pool of acid that you have seen thus far. You basically have to cling to the edge of the what's it called? Cling to the edge of the wall to kind of like walk around this thing. You don't have to stand with your back up against it, but you're all like kind of in just like a 5-foot segment, like up along this one shoulder of the cave. And Darrow, lost in thought, similar to what Kiri had done before, kind of just kicks some loose debris into the pool.
It wasn't
And
me
all of you-
before.
It was Darrow before. Darrow does it again.
It was
Yeah, I did the same exact thing again.
Forgive me, Kiri. I'm sorry about that. So you see, like, everyone's being very quiet. We're all moving, like, and everyone's moving. It's nice. And, like, everything is going perfect. And then you just hear splunk as, like, a fat rock, just, like, not like a fat rock, but, like, a rock maybe the size of, like, I don't know. What could I compare it to on my desk right now? The size of like a Bic lighter, but in like that diameter rock. Like obviously the rest of the rock will be more flushed out. But like, so you see this like massive, like almost like just like the pools are so placid, except for like the spare drops that fall into them, that when this thing breaks the surface, you see like just like a fat like ripple, just go across the surface, and then like the rebound ripple fainter and fainter, and like as you're all standing here, nothing happens.
You're such a scumbag, dude.
You're all just like sitting here and like staring into the pool, and nothing is happening.
Everybody's like held their breath.
Oh.
And like Flint just like lets out slowly, like he's been holding his breath, like waiting for something to happen. And he like looks over at Darrow and he goes, "Maybe you got 2 left feet, huh?"
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I will slowly reach up and cast guidance on myself, so that the next time we need to make a stealth check, I add a D4 to it.
Alright.
Would it be stealthier if we carried you?
Yeah, dude, I was literally thinking about doing that too.
For the nat 20 rest of the room, I would say that Scotha could probably just keep like doing what he's doing while carrying Darrow. I'll give him that for a nat 20. If that's what you guys would like to do, he'd be more than capable of that right now.
Wait,
He's
so
in the fucking zone. He also just dropped.
Yeah, I was about to say. The one who ultimately decides.
How are you?
How are you? Yo, Dad.
Yeah, I got a phone call. That's what bumped me out.
No worries.
Yo, but just so you're up to speed, we were considering carrying Darrow, and because you nat 20'd on the stealth check, you could carry him and like not be hindered at all.
Nice.
All right, I guess that's what we're doing.
You're just gonna? Are you piggybacking him? Just hopping on?
Yeah, I'm carrying him like a sack of potatoes.
All right, so Darrow, you're just face to face, like resting on the blade of Dorthorak right now, and you're like eyeing like the massive ruby, and it's the blue light is catching the red ruby in like a really weird way, and I don't know, you can just see the refraction within the gem itself. Some pretty cool.
What
shit.
does the metal smell like?
Blood.
Honestly, dried blood.
Nice.
Vaguely acidic, has a faint sting to the nostrils.
Very nice.
Yeah, it probably gets you riled, huh?
I am possibly not aroused. We'll see.
TedBundy.com. Anyway.
Alright, so. Kiri,
Yes.
make me one more stealth check. You guys make it to the other side of the room. There's several different pools of acid. You haven't seen any bodies or anything similar, but you have noticed like random things. Like I'm talking like maybe in like the 600 yards of room, maybe like one sandal, like just like a wooden sandal, like a fucking like chunk of hair, and like a tooth from something you couldn't identify.
If I roll investigation, would that help me with anything?
Go for it.
What specifically are you investigating further, the sandal or the clump of hair?
Everything.
The unidentifiable tooth. Identify it.
If someone has nature, that would probably be something I would accept the tooth for. All right, Kiri, you learn that as you study this tooth, the more and more you see it, you know that it's from. This is a canine tooth of something. It's like very clearly like designed to be eating meat, but it's from a very large creature. Probably about the size of like, almost like if like. Actually, no, forgive me. Very large wasn't the right word. If this thing is humanoid, it is a large humanoid. Picture like one of Steel Render's canines, like sitting in your hands, like a tooth from a giant Goliath,
Okay.
like 9 feet tall.
I would let the party know that whatever this was large.
Flint, you are able to tell that these sandals were made probably within the last like 6 months or so. Like this sandal, I should say, singular. It's unable to say what sort of race would have made it, as it's a very simple sandal, but
How big is it?
it would fit your foot. Probably Darrow's also, probably not Scatha's.
And how worn does it look on the sole?
Not too worn. It's definitely seen the trip down, you know, but maybe like a trip up or two also, but it hasn't seen much more than that.
Is it the same kind of footwear that we saw the rest of the monks wearing?
Roll me an intelligence check. Anyone who would like to also, because you all saw the monks. Yeah, that's exactly what the monks were wearing.
And the tooth, it looks like it to be, so it doesn't match the size of the shoe.
Yeah, the tooth looks like it's from a large predator.
The two, or what's it called? The chunk of hair also is just undiscernible. Many
color is
races have hair. It's just like darkish, like brown or black. Tough to say in the lighting without a torch.
Even with dark vision?
Yeah, because dark vision doesn't let you see colors really.
Oh.
You see like
It's kind of like night vision.
It's like night vision? I got you. So then I guess Flint would like look at everything.
So we keep moving, right?
Yeah, let's keep moving, but I don't feel right about this. Something's wrong. We're either very close to the Abbey, or the monks weren't telling us the whole truth.
Well, I
come on.
think we already went through their nest, so we're probably moving further away from the nest. So this is either scraps of those bugs or scraps of something else.
But it seems like these bugs get from point A to point B in this cavern through these pools.
There
We should
are
be-
also holes and such in the walls. Like, they are sparse. Not like the walls aren't like Swiss cheese with holes, but in like the 600 yards room, you probably could have taken on either side like 10,
Okay.
like, you know, one every like, what would that be?
Right.
Every 60 yards or so. Like, not like plastered all over the place, but
We should be careful. Come on, let's keep going.
Alright. So, at the other end of the room, you come to one of these tunnels, but it's like a little smaller than the rest. It might have been dug by a younger Ankeg. It's like a tight tunnel, but it does carry that upward trajectory that you're looking for.
Carrie, can you tell if this is the right way to go?
Can I?
Yeah. It has what you're looking for.
Huh.
Like, you don't know if it is the way, but it has the directions and, like, trajectory that you need.
Seems to
It
be.
has all the signs of the right path, but we don't know if it's the right path.
Yeah. Seems to be the right way.
All right, good. I think we should fall back into our normal formation.
Could, I'm gonna guess at what that is. Let's see. This is our order?
No.
I mixed up the first two.
You
And the
mixed
middle
up-
two. I won for 5, dude. Alright, you know what? I'm batting 200. I do okay in the MLB. I could be like a catcher or some shit. Maybe not.
Matt, you would do batting 200? It's not bad.
Respectable. Considering in real
Yeah,
life,
for like-
I'd bat like
0.05.
038 or like nah 005. All right. So, who would like to roll me 3d5?
I can do it.
Yeah, please don't make me roll anything. I've done nothing but fail.
Ooh. Okay.
Well, hopefully high is good.
Well, I'll just go through everything. All right. Everyone, please roll me perception checks. Also, do you have a torch? There are no bacteria here.
I mean, if there were
Yeah.
no bacteria, Skulker would have lit a torch on
What
the
is
way.
with my
Is it
trash ass
possible to
rolls
ascend
today?
this tunnel with a torch? Or is it like we're pressing our hands against the sides of the walls to ascend?
I have never consistently rolled 5s so hard in my life.
You have home field advantage with Kitty as the DM. That's why.
Okay. All right.
I'm waiting.
Would you like me to roll Darrow's for you, if you're AFK?
I rolled. Sean G rolled a 13%.
Oh wait, who's missing? Oh shit.
Me.
Luke.
Yeah, Connor, you can roll for me. The Wi-Fi is cutting out. I'm too far away from the building.
All right, I'll tell you what you got.
I need to get closer.
All right.
Nice.
23. So, you all are walking for another probably about like 30 minutes or so, and it's like an upward gradient. So it starts getting like kind of difficult to maintain. You're basically walking like uphill for like 30 minutes, which, you know, you're all adventurers, so it's not the worst thing, but still, it's kind of like, fuck, like, I hope this isn't the rest of the way. When tunnel levels out. It's staying, Kiri, right now you're aware that we're all relatively, like, probably southeast of the Abbey or so. So this level out still has the same general northwestern trajectory that you're looking for, but it's now at, like, it's no longer climbing towards the surface. It's got like vague like ups and downs, but the overall trend of it is pretty flat. It also, as it levels out, it kind of like comes into a larger tunnel, and you don't see like another small like exit hole. Like, this is all like a full size, like, you can stand two abreast in these like tunnel.
All right, so we took a side street back to a main road.
Yeah, that was a good analogy for it.
Does it look like it's...
So, hold on just a sec.
Yeah.
It's, you can tell it's untraveled. Most places are. As you're all climbing, like, you know, you're all exiting the tunnel you're coming out of, Skulker and Flint, you're both aware of the fact that all the bugs on the walls in these tunnels are crawling the same way. They're going the same way you're going.
Well, that's never good. There you go. I kind of like shut up. I go, hey, is anybody else seeing this?
Yeah. I don't like the looks of it either.
They're either running away
Now-
from something or they're running to something.
Now that it's like, this place isn't like littered with bugs, so it'd be kind of pick up to just tell, even at like a pretty decent glance. But maybe it's the dark vision that helps. The what's it called? Now that you've been pointed out, you're all aware of the fact that, like, oh wait, like you catch one bug, then you catch another, like, and you're like, oh wait, they are all going the same way.
Is it all the same species or genus, or just
Nope,
bugs?
just bugs.
Various assortment.
They're also like vaguely like foreign and alien to you. Like, they don't really like have eyes. Their feelers are much more developed. Things like that.
It's a bunch of different types, so
They
it's
all
not
look
like
the
they're all
same to
going
us
back to
because
the
you're
same
racist?
nest.
Okay.
It's not like they're going back to some nest, because it's all different types. So they
But
could be going
something's
to the
attracting
surface.
them.
They could be going to the water. Whatever it is, it's a path.
It's at this point that a small lizard comes out of the tunnel from behind you guys and like sort of like skirts through your legs and kind of like keeps going down the tunnel at like a pretty quick pace.
How small are we talking here?
How
So could this
small?
be
Like the size of a Bic lighter.
Everything's the size of a big lighter
Normal
today.
salamander. I don't know.
Big letter. Does he eat any of the
Trying to
bugs on the way?
create- Are you trying to create the impression of like all different forest creatures scurrying away from a forest fire?
Yeah,
Something like that?
something along those lines.
So like we should hurry along this way and get the hell out of there? Is that what we're saying?
Scappa's getting impatient, bro. He wants to draw blood.
So what's the group consensus on this?
Keep going, following the fucking things.
Are you guys
Yeah.
running or are you still just like walking?
Nah, I guess
Like,
Flip
what's
would
the
go-
pace you're keeping?
I think we would have pick up a pace a little bit. Like, maybe if we're not running, we would definitely walk faster.
I think we need to pick up the pace. I don't like
As in,
it at
stop
all.
sneaking.
Yeah, basically.
Oh,
Stop
we've been
sneaking.
sneaking the whole time?
Yes.
Skulker, I think it's time to pick up the pace.
Alright,
Alright.
let's go.
So, you all keep following this tunnel. Kiri it'll come to a bend or a turn, and Kiri will sort of say, like, this one here, like, go right, or whatever. And you notice that all the ways back up to the surface are the same way that these bugs and animals are going. You can almost, like, follow them, more or less, you realize. It's at this point that I'm going to need to change the music.
Great.
There's been music the whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'll just fuck off.
Oh no, it's because my Vex is on like 0.
Yeah, 1%, yeah.
Mine is also on 1%.
I just bumped it up to 7. It's nice and relaxing, or it used to be. We'll see what happens now. Oh, it's
Nope.
battle music. Oh
This
shit.
is Kingdom Hearts, isn't it?
It's Kingdom Hearts.
Mine's at 25%.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of, I don't know, you'll catch the games I like to pull music from. So, who's in back of the line? Flint, you see it first. Down, like, the very end of the bend of the tunnel you just left, there's, like, this sprawling, sort of, like, writhing mass of, like, ooze, basically. It's like big, black, amorphous blob. It covers, like, all of the floor and like halfway up to the ceiling, and it just seems like it's like this undulating like river of goo, kind of just like moving its way up the tunnel.
And so when like he sees it, he turns around and goes,
Hey, Skulker. I think it's time to haul ass. Let's get the fuck out of here.
All right. So I need everyone to make me athletics checks. We're just gonna be like running through the cave like this.
As soon as I see the mob or the mass,
I fall on my
and
face.
Here's my 0, dude. Oh my god, look at that, bro.
Can I
That
guide
one, that bitch.
myself? You can add a D4 to.
Yeah, I thought you didn't.
It's like, preparing and now running. Word, 16. Okay.
Alright, so if this thing is sentient, it doesn't seem to have noticed you guys yet. It's kind of just like moving its way along, from what you can tell. But it's at this point that Kiri like takes a turn back over her shoulder to look at the thing that's like moving up the tunnel behind you, and immediately just like eats shit. And like, I'm sorry for not putting it more like pleasant way, I guess. I don't know. Just like face first, like thunk, like just hits the ground like hard, trips over a rock, and it sends this like massive like it's a loud noise.
Are you saying she's 300 pounds and shaking the ground? No, she's a bird.
No, it's like the sound of like
The echo in the
Also-
caverns because it's
yeah,
empty.
there's like the echoing in the cave, and you know that same dull like thunk when like someone's head hits the ground in real life. So it's like thunk.
Yeah, that's that sound where you're just like, oh shit, are you
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I'm
music
I'm
video
right
of-
behind her. So, right? Or am I
No,
right?
I think
No,
I'm right
you're
behind
right in
her.
front of me.
Yeah, Connor, what can I roll to like mid stride?
So from first to last, it goes Flint, Darrow, Kiri, Skulker, Scott.
No, Flint last.
Well, Flint's behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Flint-
I'm right behind Kiri.
No, you're in front of me.
No, we're still running the same direction as we were walking.
I know. So, okay, so I can't catch you. I'm in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah.
Flint,
Okay.
so you feel your head hit the floor, and before you're even really able, like, you know when you get like shell shock from a hit like that, and you're kind of just like
Like the wind knocked
like
out of
you're
you.
removed from reality for a second.
Yeah.
You're nothing more than something is aware of the fact that it exists. Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
as you're in this weird like Twilight Zone state of consciousness, you're like dragged to your feet and are being sort of like drug along by like Flint as he's kind of like yelling in your ear, and it's like you kind of fade back and he's like, "Are you okay?" Or like, I don't know, what are you saying to her like as you're pulling her up?
I'm just like,
Carrie, come on. You gotta get up. Let's go. We gotta go. We gotta move.
All right. So as you start like following the trajectory of like these bugs and stuff, or like the route that they're taking, I guess not the trajectory really. You see that the cave is slowly coming to like a more like narrow point. Also, I think I forgot to mention, the thing definitely took notice of you guys once like the vibration went throughout the cave, basically. So it's aware that something relatively large is here, making noise. So the cave starts coming to a more narrow point, and it's at this point where you're gonna have to kind of like turn sideways and kind of like force yourself through this tight space that's like one sidestep at a time. Would you all rather turn and fight the thing, or are you like, as you see this choke point coming, not much time to react? Like, what are you guys just hurling yourselves in it?
I'm going to stop and tell Carrie and Skulker to push on through. I have an idea, and I'm going to cast Ray of Enfeeblement at it.
Make a ranged spell attack against the creature.
Oh, it just spat out the spell card. Okay.
So it just deals. It definitely hits. Sorry, I was just making sure I knew what it did. Okay.
Right. So it doesn't deal damage. It pretty much drops its strength.
That's
so it deals half damage on anything that uses strength, and generally weakens it.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, the larger people should go first. Because I feel like the smaller people would have an easier time getting through the little crack. We don't want to.
So it's at this point where who's going through first? I might like tip an hourglass on my desk.
Skulker's gonna lead.
Skulker's leading.
Yeah, just to
Very
verify,
nice.
just to verify it is traversable.
Who's next? Who's crawling up the cave behind you guys?
I think. Yeah.
Scout is next. Who's behind him? We're keeping the regular order.
Yes.
All right.
I stopped to let the other
Yeah.
two pass me, and I was following up the tail, taking
Yeah,
whatever seconds it was to cast that, right, letting them go past me.
So, Darrow's at the end now. I'm gonna paint a picture for you guys. These walls are like wet and fungusy, and there's also like bugs and shit crawling on them. Like as you're kind of like cheek up and like back against the wall, you could feel like bugs crawling across the back of your neck as like your face is scrunched up against the wall, and you're kind of just like sliding along, or it's like gross and gooey, and then there's like a bug in your mouth, and you're just and like the whole time you're trying to just keep yourself moving in the same like towards the end. You've kept like a healthy lead on this thing the whole time, but now this choke point has really started to slow you down. This like sort of like junction in the wall until it reaches like a broader point is probably about like, I want to say 45 or 50 feet long. So who would like to roll me a d20?
Oh, just a general. Oh god, not it.
I shouldn't unless we want to roll low because I've been rolling 5s very consistently.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Okay. So.
Okay.
So. Yes, it's a pretty sweet earth, you might say. You find yourself roughly about 65% of the way through this crevice, meaning that out of 50 you'd be like roughly 2 feet or something like that through this crevice, as you see this black mass which moves at roughly and you're also in your own like 5-foot square, so like I don't know, Scatha is further ahead. This is Darrow right now, finds himself at like 30 something feet. Skulker further ahead, obviously, also everyone.
Right. So the back of the pack is 60% the way through.
Mm-hmm. So, Darrow, you're the only one who could really get a clear look at this thing right now. Actually, no. Everyone roll me a straight intelligence check.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Like, none of us are inherently dumb, but oh my god. Panic. Skulker's the only one who can handle panic right now.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8, dude. It's like
So
Rummy or
Skulker's
Yahtzee.
the only one. Maybe it's from like his time as a mercenary, where he's like, I don't know, maybe he's just relatively observant, but he's aware of the fact that the whole time this thing appears to move almost exactly like 2/3 the speed of you guys. So you'll cover the length of the cavern, and like it'll keep up, like it'll keep up like at a distance. But he watches as this thing starts hitting the crease, and it just like sort of like melds, like just single files itself, and just starts like coming through. And he's aware of the fact that it's maintaining its same speed.
2/3 of our running
Yeah.
speed pace.
Yes.
So it
So-
will never catch us.
TLDR, it
No, it ain't gonna
runs
catch us.
20 feet per second. But
If it moves,
that's on
too
flat
far-
ground or in this, or not 20 feet per second, excuse me. Its move speed is 20 feet.
20 feet
Um,
per second. Holy
Where our
Imagine.
move speed is
Our move
currently difficult terrain, so half.
Probably
This is like more than difficult terrain. Like basically, like I'd say third. Like you're like
Okay.
squeezing yourself through. Like
So we're moving 1/3 our speed. It's moving 2/3 the speed. It's moving twice as fast as us.
Yep.
yes.
Did
Oh,
he
more than
point this
twice as
out?
me.
Am
'cause-
I smart enough to be able to pick that up? I'm not.
I
Skulker.
mean, I just yell, pick up the pace. We're losing our lead.
so you're not dumb enough. Like you're all aware this thing is like still moving. Like
So knowing
quicker than you.
knowing
Skulker's the
that-
only one who's aware that it's same pace. Like it's just the steady, constant pace the whole time.
So, in order to cast my original spell, I needed to wait for it to get within 60 feet of me. Then I dove into the cave.
Mhm.
So it's probably within 60 feet of me now, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna do this and slow its speed by 10 feet.
Make
If
a
you hit-
ranged spell attack.
Let's go.
So you see Darrow kind of like turns back and like looks. He kind of like squeezes his head around, like gets the wall and turns his head to the other side. He sees he like sticks his arm out and like just like covers the walls and like the surface of the thing in frost as like how do I get you a lot in this cube? As what's it called? The thing's speed is slowed. Now I need everyone to make me an athletics check.
I need to stop rolling.
Wish I was steel right now.
Oof.
Oh.
It was an athletics check, right?
Yes.
Okay, it's not the worst.
So, why mess with the classics? You know, classic Coke. There's nothing wrong with that.
I agree.
So Skulker in front kind of starts like he's trying to like pull himself along further, but the machine that is Skatha kind of just like begins just like moving him through the space that he can't move himself through. Kiri is kind of like keeping her own pace, and you see Flint in front of you, Darrow, is kind of like his holster catches like a snag in the wall, and he starts like, oh fuck, like he's got his face up against the wall, and he's trying to like,
First the hat, now the holster. God damn it.
Yeah, exactly.
and you see what's it called?
Cute boy.
No, forgive me. You see this and like you unsnag him and like you keep going, like you push him forward, and you all break the other side of the wall. But I need you each to roll me 2d4 damage, please. From like basically like forcing your like body along like a rocky
Oh,
wall.
now I know.
Also, in the future, just from my own like DM knowledge, would it be better if I roll damage as being dealt to you, or in a situation like that, would you rather me roll it or would you want to roll it?
I'm okay
You
with
roll.
either.
Yeah, I think in situations like that, I think you should roll.
Right, because
Alright.
now everyone has gotten different amounts of damage.
Where we're stupid as fuck, like let's say we're trying to make an athletics check and we nat 1 and we run like into a wall. Like I think we should roll damage then.
No, then
Alright.
you take full of what the roll was.
Who wants to take luck of the draw on a reroll? I'll give you 1 if you're unhappy.
Nah, bro, I'll fucking eat my 7 damage. It's
I'll
fine.
take my
Let's go.
5.
Yeah.
I'll take my 4.
We ain't no
Alrighty.
weak ass bitches here.
So,
I remembered that people were listening and I need to stop myself.
thanks to the thanks to the frost that Darrow had sort of like sprayed all over like the walls and such, the thing actually, like, you can see the frost like sort of impeding its like progress, and as you like all like break the cavern one by one, kind of like gashes in various places and stuff, or break the crevice one by one, there's all what's it called, like you're bleeding in various ways, or like surface wounds, nothing too major though, and you're able to sort of gain the lead on this thing again. It's at this point where your path diverges from the path of all the insects. Well, there's a break in the path and all the insects are going one way. The insects are going deeper underground. The next, like the other fork in the path, like rises towards the surface but sort of takes a bend off, like away, kind of like in like a northeastern bend, and you're looking for northwest.
Tyria, do you have any idea which of these directions are the right one? Because even though it looks like it's going down over there, could go down a little bit of a lull and come back up in the right direction.
Do I? Have any idea?
So, Natural Explorer reads that you can't become lost except by magical means. How I run that when I'm on the other side of the mechanic is, like, you're aware of your XYZ coordinate, but if you're looking at 2 different paths before you, you can infer that, like, one of them goes higher, this is probably what we're looking for, one of them goes back underground, like, things like that. Like, you can make your own inferences, but as far as, like, knowing which way is the right way, that comes from more of, like, your character's ability to, like, figure it out.
Right.
And
There's no sixth sense whispering to you where to go. It's your instincts telling you which way to go, and the instincts generally tell you that you won't get lost.
like, you know that you're southeast of the Abbey right now. You've been able to sort of, like, if you needed to, you could point to the ceiling and be like, it's probably right about there.
Mhm.
And so, like, that way would be the mountains and, like, things like that. But, like, you maintain your orientation, but it doesn't,
Right. We don't need to get spit out underneath the Abbey. We just need to get spit out somewhere on the surface, and we'll find our way back.
Yeah, I would point to the one that leads upwards and be like, I think that's our best chance.
all right. So, what's up?
Before, once we're about to start traveling down it, I'm gonna cast Minor Illusion to make the sound of the same thudding in the other tunnel with the bugs.
Smart.
It might
Yes.
only respond to vibration and not sound, but the sound might be enough air vibration. It's, yeah.
Big smart. All right. So, you hear the same dull, like, thunk, thunk,
Repeated.
like, yeah, just echoing, like, throughout the cavern, and you see the ooze, like, as it carries on its path, like, I take it you're all still running.
Oh, yeah.
You don't see it, like, catching up behind you at a certain point, around, like, the last bend and stuff like that. So
Okay.
you can only assume that Skulker's trick worked. But
The
it's
trickster
at
tricked.
this point that you notice that there are more, like, cobwebs and stuff starting to form on, like, the walls as you start, like, ascending along this tunnel.
Spiders. Why did it have to be spiders? I hate spiders.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
take spiders over bugs.
It's been about 2 hours, Indiana. It's been about 2 hours since you left like the Onkeg spawning grounds. So like in about like 2 to 3 more hours, it's gonna start to be rest time.
All right.
I don't know if that impacts your decision.
I mean,
In about 2 hours, you say?
Yeah.
like, let's keep going then.
Yeah. I think we should keep pushing as far as we can.
Yeah. I mean, I'd keep it in mind, like looking for a good place on the way to stop, but
If we find like a little cavern or something safer than just an open
yeah,
cave.
but if it's all the same after like an hour and a half to 2.5 hours, then yeah, then we'll call it.
You guys hear my roommate's cat right now?
I just
As soon as you heard that, as soon as
Yeah,
you said that, I heard it.
Sorry. I had a song for this and I wanted to find the right one rather than settling for something else.
to get out of these caverns. Birds don't do well under caverns. My roller's showing how unwell I'm doing underground.
So, the webs get like, they start turning from cobwebs into like actual webs as you start getting like thicker and, you know, like deeper and deeper in. It's still maintaining this sort of like general like upward trajectory that you're looking for like surface, but it's not, it's still keeping on like the not way you're looking for. It's still on like that northeast, like east kind of, like, do you get what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
You're looking for northwest? Yeah. Alright. So it's at this point that the tunnel that you're in kind of broadens up and you just see like, do you have a torch going?
If there were cobwebs and no other light sources, yeah, Skulker would have lit a torch by now at least.
Definitely.
Alright. So you see that there's an opening in the tunnel up ahead of you that branches out into kind of a larger cavern where the webs become a lot thicker.
Shelob.jpg, dude.
Well, I don't like this at all. Skulker, torch all the fucking webs to the ground, would you?
That would only piss off whatever made these
No, I'm
webs.
just kidding.
Yeah. What about leaving the Onkeg alive with their eggs to help us with the gnolls? All of a sudden, that's no deal when they're spiders? Okay.
You're damn right.
You're goddamn right.
Yeah, moral compasses are for pussies. I
I want to see a Shelob-esque spider fight a giant Onkeg, bro. It would be like King Kong V2.
Ooh, I'll make the popcorn.
Do we have popcorn in this world?
Unconfirmed.
Damn.
How about
Alright,
this?
so-
If
yes.
this,
None of you know where though.
okay,
Well, I know where.
if this is the area that we're probably gonna kick it, then I'm gonna torch some of the cobwebs.
Did what's it called?
What is...
Are you like, your guys are hunkering down in the web room, you just said?
Well, how much time has it been?
It's been about like 15 minutes since I said that.
Oh fuck
So
no!
you're inside of
Fuck
2 hours.
no!
I vote to get the hell out of here, personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Let's keep going. See if we can avoid getting tangled in these webs.
All right. So,
Roll initiative.
you could all walk back to like the rough area of like. How far back from this do you want to travel before resting for the night?
2 hours. 2 fucking hours. 1 hour
We
and
don't have
45
2 hours.
minutes.
I don't really want to sleep amongst a bunch of spider webs.
I don't either.
But if we need to, then it's just what's going to be done.
So, like, back to the other side of the crevice in the wall?
But we
No,
don't.
we're not going to go backwards.
But we don't know whether or not we actually like distracted the other thing. So we need to keep moving forward. We just seem to have. By the words
I think
of
we
the
should.
DM.
I vote for 50 feet from the entrance to this cavern with the spider webs.
In character, I would advise, like, if the bugs were going the other way, spiders typically eat bugs. So all the bugs knew to avoid this cavern, and the cobwebs are getting thicker. So the spiders are definitely going to become more prevalent, and there's going to be larger spiders. So if we're going to go through here, we would need to be much better rested. At least a short rest.
Which, you said we're starting to feel like it's nighttime, right? Connor?
Yeah, it's approaching nighttime.
So at that point, yeah, we should just set up some watches.
In a fairly, I guess, open area with our backs against a wall. Which I guess would be
I would say
back towards the entrance. Yeah.
Well, I would say the tunnel would be fine. I mean, because then there's only two ways to get attacked from.
There are multiple people in this party who are proficient in survival, so if you all want to roll it, we'll probably find a good spot.
You'll figure out what the best place to be is.
I should stop rolling. I'm gonna stop rolling.
No, you should not. Do not stop.
I have not been able to roll anything above a 5 this entire time.
So, Kiri, Anzu has been, like, definitely very, just, like, basically terrified. He hasn't even, like, really poked his head out of the pouch. But it's now at this point, when you're starting to, like, settle down for the night, that he's kind of, like, poking his head out and, like, looking around. You see him, like, you know, looking at little things.
Is my bunny reacting at all?
Nah, your bunny's just chilling.
Okay, cool. Just like I trained it.
He zipped through that fucking cavern and was like, "Why are you all taking so long?"
Yeah.
No,
Just on the other side of the crevice, just, like, doing the nose. Like,
dude, Anzu's gonna get to, like, 3 or 4 feet long, and the bunny's gonna ride Anzu in battle. It's gonna be great.
I approve. No, the bunny was with Skulker the entire time. If not, like, shunted away to the other dimension.
I'm gonna let Anzu get out of the pack if he wishes to, but like not get away from me. So if he wants to like sit on my shoulder or some shit, he's more than welcome to. But like, he's not exploring on his own.
okay.
Hey, Anzu. Dinner. And I pointed to all the bugs on the walls.
He kind of just, like, looks up at you, like, looks at the bugs, and then, like, you see about maybe 10 or 20 feet down the tunnel, a lizard starts, like, moving on the wall, and he just takes off like a bolt and just starts running at the thing.
God damn it, Daryl!
Isn't that like cannibalism? Because he's like a danger lizard, and that's like a slimy lizard.
A danger lizard. XD. So like, there's like kind of like a relatively loud clatter of like scales and fangs on, and like, you know, the masticating of like flesh for a second, and like, yeah. But after that, he kind of just like, he sort of like comes down from his like murder high, I guess, like face murder high. Right? I imagine that's pretty exhilarating, killing something with your face and then consuming it.
The cat.
And
yes, it is.
Yes.
So you see, he kind of like comes down for a second, like realizes there's like nothing really else like to eat in sight, and he kind of just like saunters on back over to Kiri, and you see that like he is sitting very closely, like up against her still, not like trembling or anything, but he's kind of just like surveying the surroundings and like being
That's the
outside
safe
of the
spot. The
couch.
safe spot's with Carrie. That's where he goes. He goes to the safe spot.
Yeah. So you all, Flint basically like remembers that a little while back there was a small like alcove in the wall in one of the larger tunnels that would kind of be like good for like holding the party out and without being the only thing obstructing a path of the tunnel, and like other, that's not fire safe. And then like, I don't know. Yeah, Flint finds you all a decent alcove in the wall. Are you keeping a torch or campfire lit through the night, or are you in darkness for the night?
Depends who's watching.
Who's watching?
What?
Well, we could just have. Well, so we need 2 people and then Flint, right? Or is it 3 and Flint? Because Flint takes a majority of the watch usually, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is it 2 in Flint or 3 in Flint?
Well, I
think
mean,
if it's 2, we could just have dark vision people do watch.
yeah.
All right. You don't have to take a 10-hour rest, just because what's it called? Whoever stays up for the first 2 hours is gonna then need to sleep for 8 hours. So, that cool with you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Give me watch order.
I'll go first.
Okay. We have Darrow. Flint's going last, I take it.
Yeah.
Skulker. All right. Skulker. As you're settling down for like your like little nap before it's your turn to take watch, you hit like the end of what you put into your flask. Like you're gonna have to go like into your bag for the mini keg to like I don't know, just a fun fact. You kind of like hit the end of your flask, you got to go back into what you bought from bars.
Both of my flasks?
Yep.
Okay.
The other one was already empty. Let's
Ah,
be real. Come on, that one doesn't really last too long.
We've been down here for what, 3 days now?
That one's there to delay the consumption of the second flask. Let's be real.
yes. Alright.
Just letting you know. Darrow, please roll me a d20.
That's a number.
Not bad. Not bad. So your watch comes and goes with little event. No real noises or anything. Occasionally, like someone in the party will like stir, and it will send like a small like ripple cascading like to the cave immediately surrounding you, but not really much further. Skulker. It is now like Darrow kind of like thinks about it. He's like, it's about time. Pats you like on the shoulder, sort of wakes you up. It's your turn to watch now.
So, D20?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Perception doesn't matter? Alright, here we go.
Not bad. So your
Connor,
watch
either doing random encounters, or because we're just relying on dark vision, he's now allowing us to add our bonuses.
I mean, if
I mean, you don't need to say which. I'm inferring based on what it could possibly be. So
that's true. A good magician never reveals his secrets.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
Flint's Connor. That's Connor talk for. He didn't even think about the perception extra bonus.
Nah, because if something isn't there, does rolling to perceive it help? Whereas, like, if you roll a 2 and I'm like, roll me a perception check. Like,
Okay.
that,
I got you. I got you. We're doing right.
All right, wise ass. Roll me 2 d20s since you take 4 hours of the watch.
Rolls 2d20s. Literally crit fails both of them.
That would be epic.
It would make you feel not as bad about myself.
What?
That's
did that
not how you
wrong.
do that.
I know. I'm like driving through the drive-thru getting
Wait,
flurry.
times 2? Did you
Yeah,
really roll like? Wait, how is it? How can you roll a 5? Nothing times 2 is 5.
it doesn't work.
Actually, yeah.
Oh.
What?
Look, see what happens.
Oh my god! You rolled a 5 and a 1.
Yep.
All right.
I don't feel bad.
Yeah. Dude, those 2 dice blocks should be on Pornhub.
Flint, roll me a perception check. Everyone else who's sleeping, roll me a perception check with disadvantage, please.
Oh, if only it wasn't disadvantage.
Right? Right.
It was finally in the correct slot for a regular roll.
Fucking eat me.
Well, ironic.
It's gonna eat me.
Flint, it's at this point that you hear, like, very faintly, but, like, near enough where you're catching the echoes of it. The same sort of, like, kind of like being the sound of it being carried towards you through the echoing in the cave sounds like the slime thing again.
Wait,
Like coming towards you.
Sorry, I was.
So your elf ears catch like the sound of like very faintly, kind of just like just like the mass like undulating its way like closer, or something that sounds a lot like it.
Okay, so I would get up to like see if I can get a better look at what I'm hearing.
All right. So you're gonna like get out, like you guys are kind of in like an alcove in the wall. You're gonna kind of get out and like stand in the street for like an analogy.
I'm gonna like peek my head out.
All right, so you're poking your head out. So you definitely
Thanks.
get
ranch. Yeah. Sorry.
It's all good.
All right, so thank you. All right, Connor, what did you say? I peek my head out.
You peek your head out, and you hear very distinctly that it's coming from the way that you came.
Okay.
And it's kind of just like it starts getting closer and closer. It's tough to really gauge how far away something is in here because of the way the sound travels.
Okay, so I realize that we're in a very bad situation because if it's coming from the way we came, then we don't have any place to fall back to. So I'm immediately going to run back and wake everybody up and tell them that we need to get the fuck out of here.
So, shit, did we get a short rest at least? Half a long rest? What?
So, you're all very, like, wiped, but it was long enough into the night where, like, you know how, like, you stay up a little later gaming than you should or watching shows a little longer than you should, and you're kind of just, like, zonked, but you're still, like, you can still function the next day. Like, it's not like, my movement speed is halved. Like,
Okay.
So those who did watches, do they gain the benefit of long rest, or only the people who did not do watches gain the benefit?
So this
Yes.
happened about like 6.5 hours into the rest period as a whole.
Oh, so no one got it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What's more,
So we can roll hit die to regain hit points lost by squish pressure.
I'm the only person that was able to get a long rest. Was boosted, man.
You carried by your race. What's it called? All right. So it was only the slashing damage that we had from the wall, or was there?
Yeah,
oh wait,
that was it.
There was still damage.
We did short rest from before that.
Right. Okay.
Because that will people who were not searching for hat did short rest.
Okay. So we have one very disgruntled alcoholic boxed. Skulker, you may roll me hit die.
Thank
in order to recover.
God.
Yeah, I was gonna say anyone who's missing health and would like to roll hit die can, but this will be like the day's hit die unless you all like come down for another rest at some point like in the day.
All right.
Well, I think you're allowed to have 2 short rests in a day, but you're saying this is a short rest of the current day, not a short rest of the prior day.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's fine. I want to be as healthy as possible. Yeah, that's healthy. Because, hit points are just another resource.
One of the more important ones, but yes.
Well, if I want to blow something up in particular...
You're the only class that can use hit points to achieve that.
I know,
What
right?
else has that
Pretty
option?
cool. The only thing that sucks is that I got, 1 spell slot left.
So, at this point where, you're all, sort of being roused from your sleep by Flint, and I think he might be eating, so I'm not going to ask him, what he's saying as he's waking up. He's saying something like, yo, let's fucking go, we gotta get the fuck out of here, how are you? It's at this point where, you're all, fully roused, and you see the thing, if any of you are poking your head out from the corner or, starting to run away, the black mass itself, the black ooze, starts, also the technical name for this thing is black pudding, if anything's curious. What's it called? Yeah. The mass is, at the end of the tunnel you just came, it's probably about, 70 feet or so from you, and it's, coming this way.
Is it the same Uzi dude? Well, okay. Doesn't need to be the same. It's a similar type.
Yeah. It could be, for all you know. Might be a different one.
Okay. Yeah, Ravenfieldman is definitely gone. That was only a minute. Well, that was not a great use of that. Yep. So it's coming within range of us? Are we trying to run away from it? We're running, right? Or are we trying to kill it?
So there's one thing that you all know as you're kind of looking at, as this thing's rounding the corner and you're all processing this, is that the only way that this tunnel goes is going to run you right into spider webs. There are a couple really smaller, more cracks in the walls and crevices and things like that, or maybe bits of the floor that give way into a small pothole looking thing. There's not much in terms of divergent paths in the place that you're located.
Right. So our options are fight this here, or continue trying to run and possibly run into more trouble and have trouble on 2 sides.
Yeah, but the thing is, oh yeah, that's true.
Or have them fight each other.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking also. But I think the best option would be to fight this thing here. Although in this tight space, it's going to be difficult.
And I doubt weapons are great against them.
Yeah, well, we can always try to tactical retreat. Right?
You mean after we get into the cavern?
But I mean, we could start fighting this thing now, and if we need to run away, we can try to run away.
We can't run away though, because it's coming the way that we came.
I'm saying go down the tunnel that we're going to go down once we rested.
Well, I'm assuming you guys are doing a quick back and forth in character right now. Roll me,
depending on how much time they take, I'm going to cast this again.
Intelligence check.
Yeah, there's a number.
Oh!
I fucking give up.
You have a small dragon to worry about. You have bigger things on your mind than this stupid black pile of shit.
You guys fucking figure it out.
So you all move quickly enough where there's a term called kiting. I don't know if you guys are familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You all run faster than this thing. Theoretically, you could kind of kite it as long as you... I'll give you guys numbers just because they're more concrete. This thing moves at 20 feet per second and takes 20 feet move speed and takes its action to dash. It's moving at 40. In order to attack and move, you guys have to move at 30. But with a lead,
35.
as long as you take a turn to then not attack and dash, you can turn and make another attack. Theoretically, mathematically. Like, you guys kind of realize, like, it moves slowly enough where as long as we kind of, like, chip at it as we run, we can actually outrun this thing.
All right, does everyone think that's a good idea? We can kind of yeehaw this thing on the way to the cavern.
Yep. Called a tactical retreat. We continue moving away while destroying it. From a range. No melee. Can't do melee. Only range. Sorry, Scott. I don't. Can you do range?
Dad?
That's good.
Yeah, I think he's got the motherfucking
breath.
javelins.
Oh,
And the breath, too.
Yeah.
Oh, breath. Yeah. He has options.
All right.
Let's fucking move it and go the way that we're supposed to go.
So Skulker kind of like, All right. Skulker has rolled me 2 pretty good attacks so far. I'll say that he was the first one to kind of trigger like the firebolt down, and everyone kind of like looks at the rate that the thing is moving and kind of just like realizes like, wait a second, and then like you all kind of confer like, we can just kite this thing, or like whatever the better way of saying that is.
Yeah. We can outrun it.
We can lead it.
So you're gonna have to stagger your attacks, is how this works mathematically. So I'm gonna say, because the tunnel is 10 feet wide, any set of 2 of you can attack at once per turn. Like,
Okay.
Without being in the way of like hitting the other 2 people or more behind them, possibly.
Right. So it's 2 people stop. Everyone keeps moving. They attack. They keep moving. Someone else stops. You run through them. They attack. So it's a tactical retreat. You're covering each other's retreat.
So when I ask you guys I wanted to make sense. Like, I'm glad. I don't know. I wanted it to make sense when I said I need you guys to pair off for attack rolls, and someone's going to be solo.
You know how they have in all those military movies, it's like, I'll cover you, and they post up and fire, and people run past them, and then they stop and shoot.
The term is
and
bounding fire.
All right, Scoth is going to be our floater.
You know the verb.
I would say let's just keep the typical, what do we call it, order. So, like, you would have...
Nah, Scappa's gonna be last because he's got AoE with his breath, so...
Alright.
In order to not fuck anybody up, he needs to be by himself.
Sounds good.
So let's do...
We could just go with Flint Skulker, Daryl Kiri, Scotha.
Yeah. Alright, let's get it.
All
so
right.
wait, so you want me to attack next, Connor?
All right. So, Flint and Skulker. Skulker, you've already sent a solid firebolt at this thing. Would you like to? Do you feel good with that? What's it called? The 2 rolls you got, or do you want to re-roll the second one? It's up to you.
No, I'm keeping the second one.
Word. All right. So Skulker sends like 2 really solid firebolts directly like center mass into this thing, and you can see that it kind of just like internalizes them, and you see like a faint bit of steam rise off of the ooze, but like nothing really too discernible happens to it. Flint, I need you to make your attack.
Okay.
Are you shooting preservation right now?
Oof.
Or you got like a bow or something? You're doing
I
this.
don't think he has a bow.
I do not have a bow. No, I'm actually not going to shoot at all.
All right.
Pass my turn.
Question?
Yeah.
Can we cast non-offensive things on our off turns? Like, was the idea that we're having to skip some of our attacks, or just that we're having to rotate who's.
It's
front.
kind of going on the assumption that you're dashing because you're just actively trying to run away from something.
Yeah, you're using your action to sprint if you're not up front taking your turn to do damage. So if on your turn to do damage you decide not to do damage, you can do something else.
Okay, then yeah, I'm probably going to spend the turn before doing damage, giving myself advantage for the next shot.
Well, that's not what Connor was saying. What Connor was saying is that
if he wants to, you can. This is just means that the thing is going to catch up on you quicker. Because it's moving at 40 feet, and if you only use 30 feet every turn, it's going to start gaining on you.
Alright, then as my bonus action, I'm going to shift, which takes me from 35 to 40 speed.
Okay.
So I don't have to dash, and I can keep pace with it.
Okay.
How does this mathematically work with my speed? Because my walking speed is slower than everybody else's.
Is it?
You're going to have to do the dash.
What speed is it?
have 25.
Oh, you're fine as long as you're dashing.
Yeah, there's everyone else has more than enough room to spare if they dash.
Yeah. Skulker's being difficult. So.
Okay.
Skulker's going for more hits. Skulker's metagaming this.
Alright. Darrow Kiri, your turn.
Bah!
Alright, so you've all been running pretty quickly now, and you're all sinking like very solid. Like it is kind of like a big black mass. And you see Darrow sort of slows it again. So you're all able to kind of like chip away at this thing, but there's a problem now. It's what's it called? You've ran about, just in the time you've been sprinting now, you've ran about like already a third of the way to the spider cavern, and this thing doesn't show any signs of slowing down, despite the solid hits you put into it so far. It is now Scaffa's like up, where he's in the back of the line, and he can.
Scotty
All right.
baby.
He's got to roll a dex save. Huh. So you see, like Scaffa turns and he like lets loose this like torrent of acidic like bile just from his mouth, like projecting down the cave, getting on like, you know, the stone and stuff as it like hurtles towards this this like thing. And you see his breath kind of just like fall on it or like hit it, and it like seamlessly integrates itself into the ooze itself.
Oh, well, I didn't do anything.
Flavor text for it seems to be immune to what it was just hit with. Acid immunity.
Yeah.
All right.
Acid no worky.
But it is a little bit slower now. So it's all because of Darrow's what's it called? Because of Darrow's cantrip, it's all actually moving slower now, so that you guys can kind of take a moment to sort of. I'll let all of you make an attack this turn if you want, or anyone who has the capability and is willing to. This is like moving at a speed even to your move speed now.
So I didn't need to transform.
Connor, I think Flint's gonna like just keep sprinting ahead and try to break away from the pack.
All right.
In an attempt to get eyes in the cavern so that we're not walking in blind.
Okay. How much will this show you? So, we'll come back to the party in a sec. Do you tell the party that you're like going to get eyes up ahead, or are you just taking off?
No, I would tell Skulker. I'd say,
Skulker, it doesn't seem very smart of me to unload preservation in this tight chamber with all you around. I could deafen you. So I think I'm just gonna go on ahead and see if I can secure the room ahead of us, so that when you guys catch up, I might have a plan of how to defeat this thing.
And he just lets loose like a firebolt as you're telling him this. Just like sinks its way. Yeah, you're a little preoccupied at the moment. So you take off ahead and you hear the party sort of like communicating amongst themselves, like who's up at bat, so to speak, like things like that. And they get a little like fainter as you start making it closer and closer towards the Spider Tavern. You see on the ceiling, as you like round like the last bend, do you see that picture?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a buggy thing.
Yeah, and probably also the thing like to snare its prey, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has
All
the
right.
word giant in its name.
So Flint. You hear the party at like a safe distance behind you, but you turn the corner and your dark vision like catches this big thing moving along the ceiling, and as you make eye contact with all of these eyes that are like staring back at you, I need you to defend yourself.
Let's go, baby. First real roll of the day. Nope.
Can only go up. Well, I guess it can't
Tell
go
it to
down,
carry.
but
So roll me one more, because I didn't realize this should have been disadvantage. You'll have to forgive me. Disadvantage for the monster, not for you. Much better. So this thing sort of like, as it's like coming towards you from the mouth where like the webs start getting really thick, like in the mouth of that cavern that you know is ahead of you, it lets loose this like sort of like sticky, like writhing mass through the air, and you kind of like sidestep as the mass like flies past you, and you see like the wall that was behind where you were just standing like absolutely like covered with this like weird sort of like silky webbing type thing.
And Flint just like sighs and goes, I really hate fucking spiders, man.
And Skulker still has a torch, right?
Yes. Yeah, assuming I can cast Firebolt with one hand.
Okay. We'll go back to the party after one more thing.
Of course.
Flint, how would you like to proceed? Like, what are you doing as you dodge this webbing?
I'm using my dark vision to survey the room.
You're kind of still in like the tunnel.
Oh, okay. Give me a second.
I'm getting a call from my sister. Let me see what this is. I'm sorry.
Do 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 do. This lobby has never been so quiet.
we are being offended on two sides right now. It's pretty serious business, bruh. Oh, I forgot that I logged into a different Roll20 lobby for a second and looked up and like, wait, why am I in the middle of Castle Ravenloft right now? Oh my god.
The gelatinous cube teleported you.
That would be fun. A gelatinous cube that has like a dimension door inside of it. That way, when you get absorbed, you get dimensioned.
That'd be awful. How do you find
Yeah.
your way back? What if they kill it? You never find a way
I guess
back.
you're just stuck there forever in in gelatinous world.
How are you?
All right, I know what I'm gonna do, but first, is Rachel okay?
Yeah, Rachel's okay. Funny enough, it was actually my mom. She just left her having issues with her SIM card, and she went to call me about something. Like, my mom calls me, so like, I don't know. I might have like texted my mom saying like, "What's up?" But like, Rachel never calls me, so that's why I was like, "Hold on, let me pick this up." And my
Yeah,
mom's
that's-
like, "Hello." I'm like,
Same.
"Why are you using Rachel's phone?" She's like, "I'm not." I'm like, "You have a problem. Like, you need to go back."
Yeah. Okay, so Connor.
Yeah.
Okay, so Flint is obviously he's gonna take in the gravity of the situation that him and the rest of the party is in right now, and what he's gonna do is he's gonna try to lure the gaze of the giant spider away from the opening of the tunnel, or like where the rest of the party is coming from. So I guess what he's gonna do is I'm going to expend 1 grit point to use this, and then I'm going to fire at the spider, and then I'm going to
Isn't
fire.
there also a feature called leading shot that if you hit a target, it needs to focus on you?
I think there is one, but I didn't take that shot yet.
Oh, I didn't realize that you needed to pick specific ones.
Yeah, it's basically like Battle Master, like that fighter subclass
Gotcha.
with the maneuvers. So I'm gonna do that, and then since I hit him, I get to shoot again. So, actually, hold on just 1 second.
It's gonna be loud in here.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll come back to you in a sec.
Okay.
Skulker. Flint says all this shit to you, like he's going up ahead. Where you said, what was it? Sounds like a good idea, or something like that.
Yeah.
All right. So, the mass is still creeping up behind you guys. I'm gonna need what's it called? Everyone to make their respective attack rolls. Well, with the way sound travels in here, you probably wouldn't need to
keep an ear out.
I'm pretty sure everyone and their mother knows.
It would keep your ear out. All right.
Well, I suck at like ability checks, but I can hit things pretty good.
Same.
Dude, Darrow knows what he's good at.
Dude, he's an awkward devil boy that doesn't know how to interface with normal society, but he's really good at killing things.
Same.
All right. So you've all made it roughly what you would assume to be about like halfway between the actually no, more like 60% of the way from where you were to the Spider Tavern. And it's at this point that you all like make this round of attacks, and like the thing looks like it's starting to slow down. You can see sort of like almost looks like it's weird because it's a singular like cohesive mass of like black goo, but you can see that like the goo doesn't form like a smooth surface anymore. There are kind of like breaks and tears, and like more like it looks a little less well put together.
It's denaturing.
Yeah. Like if there was a thing of Jello chasing you down a hallway and you started like throwing firebolts at it and stuff and like
started cooking it and simultaneously freezing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Frostfire bolt, baby.
Yo,
so
this
you
was
can
an episode
tell
of Pokemon.
that your efforts are what's it called? Having an effect on this thing. But it's at this point that you all hear just a loud like crack, 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 like coming from like, and followed immediately by another like crack, crack, and like you all recognize it as preservation 100%. Like whatever Flint found up at the other end of the tunnel is clearly not something he's agreeing with.
Spiders.
Scatha, go check on Flint.
Scatha just takes off like the wind. You don't have to tell him twice, dude.
Okay. I was afraid I'd have to spell out the decision of acid breath not effective on cube.
I'm a little
He threw
offended.
one
I'm a little
javelin at
offended
Cube.
of how quickly he abandoned us, though.
He knows what needs to be done. What's it called? So Flint. Let's see.
Yeah.
So the shots like ring out in your ears as you start firing them, and you let off like one, and like you let off a second one, and you can hear the kind of like tinnitus like setting in, you know, like the shell shock.mp3 like noise.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're already kind of like you've heard it before. You've had to fire off in a tight space once or twice before, but you've never been stuck underground this long. So like it's not a noise you're completely unfamiliar with, but you're definitely kind of like in audio shock, I guess the word I'm looking for is.
It phases him a little.
Yeah. You're aware of the fact that you're like disconnected from your surroundings right now, sound-wise.
Gotcha.
So your first shot like rings out and what's it called? Definitely like catches the spider like center mass, like right in the abdomen, and you see it kind of like begins like still like coming towards you and like looking like it's sort of like churning up its gullet to kind of maybe spit some more webs at you. And as it kind of exposes itself, you shoot the thing like right at the base of the neck, and it kind of just like falls from the ceiling with like a loud like thump, like to the ground. But there's a problem, and you see that. Well, roll me a perception check.
At disadvantage, yeah.
You have dark vision.
Yeah, but
But it's sight based, not sound based, so I don't think the ringing.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Whoo!
So you see, scuttering along the walls are like smaller spiders, like your average house spider size. Some of them a little larger, maybe the size of a coin or something, but just like small spiders are beginning to like leak out of the cavern towards you, and you can see some of the larger webs are now like vibrating, almost as if like something is like moving on them at like a different point in the web or something like that.
So Flint, like under his breath, just goes,
Man, I really hate spiders.
Alright, so it's at this point where we return to our 3 party members. Scatha's in transit between the 2 groups. I need you all to roll me one more set of attacks, please.
Are we standing our ground, or are we doing the leading thing still?
It's up to you guys.
I think we should continue to lead it. We don't want it to actively engage with us and lock us down.
Yeah, exactly. Like we don't want to find out what it does when it does reach us.
yo, I was gonna say, Josh, roll 17, please.
Oh, nice.
Thing would have died.
I'm nice. No. I'll do
It
your
forms its
one
way, and all of
better.
our attacks go
Yeah.
through it.
Alright, so Kiri like lets an arrow loose from her bow, like solid shot. It's kind of an easy target to hit, but you guys are placing these very like well placed shots, and you hear these like shots, or you heard these shots from preservation. Skulker took off behind you, and you see now that this thing is actually kind of starting to slow down, like beyond the frost. Like you guys have definitely put some damage into this thing. But you now can tell that you're like pretty much about to be upon the area. Like you're not too far behind Flint and now Scatha.
So I think we should make a stand our ground basically, and if we could hold, like somehow hold it away from Scatha and
In character, I'd probably say, keep it up. We finish this. I think I have an idea of how to take care of what I assume are spiders.
Okay.
It
How
involves-
far away is the
involves
key
fire.
from us? Oh, I could have guessed that from what you've been using so far. How far away is it from where we're standing right now? Like 10 feet?
At the moment, I'd say probably closer to like 30.
Okay. So you said it looked like it was immune to acid damage. Oh, poison is along the same vein as acid. Ugh.
They're different damage types, for what it's worth.
Okay. Would I know that?
That poison and acid are different things.
Well, would I know? I know how to use some of these spells, but I don't know if I'm entirely.
You're aware that poison isn't corrosive.
Okay.
Like, there might be some poisons that are, but not all poisons are inherently like acidic.
Okay. I think I know what I'm gonna do.
I would let Daryl know, like, that we should probably keep it away from the party and the spider. So, like,
Yeah,
I don't know whether.
We need to kill this thing now.
just
I think it's
uncorks
done. I'm done with the small fries. I need to actually use some real power here. Do we still get another round of thingies, or are you flipping back?
You'll have 2 more rounds of combat before you're back to, or 2 more rounds of attack rolls, I should say, before you're back to back with Flint and Scatha.
Right. Well, I mean, like, you had Flint do a thing, and then you flipped to us to do a thing. So do we get to have another round, or are you going to flip back to Flint?
You can have another round if you like, but what's it called? Rather, I'm gonna need 2 more rounds from you guys, but I'm gonna start narrating what happens with Flint before I tell you how your rolls go.
Okay. So we're standing our ground here and holding it off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Until it's dead. That's the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is what I'm doing.
Yes, the plan is still kill it.
Fuck. That's probably not going to hit.
You'd be surprised.
He's like, you'd
Well-
be surprised. It's not gonna hit, but you'd be surprised.
I wish I did, not gonna lie. No, you hit. That's a
I do?
spell,
Okay.
though, right?
So, yes, that is a spell. Would you like me to put the text of the spell in there?
Yes, please.
Okay. Because what I'm doing is Ray of Sickness is poison, but what I'm doing is I'm cutting open my arm from elbow to wrist and trying to mimic that thing that
Stannis did.
that Stannis did, where he collected his blood into a ball, and I'm gonna do that and then cast it out, and it goes as pretty much an arcing line of this crimson blood from palm to creature, and I'm dumping my 2d4 of blood magic into it.
Oh, damn. Alright, roll me the 2d4.
So that's 2d8 plus 2d4.
Okay. So we're going to take 4 points of damage.
Well, yeah.
Give me just a sec. Check this number. It's that number. How are you, that number?
How artist?
So you can see the way that this thing kind of like shudders as it internalizes your bloody bolt. Like, what's it called? Skulker kind of shoots an arrow, or rather shoots a firebolt, and it kind of is like a glancing blow, but still like submerges its way into the ooze itself. Carrie sinks another shot dead center, and you send this weird like bloody like green poisonous bolt into this thing, and it like shudders with like almost like a like as it like feels this poison like enter it. What's it called? So now we return to Flint and now Scatha. Flint, you hear like this ringing in your ears, and you can't really hear what's going on around you from being so close to preservation as it's going off. And you start to see now that there are two more of the same spiders that just kind of leaked their way into the cavern on top of, or into the tunnel that you're in from the cavern, excuse me. And they're coming down the tunnel towards you. Scatha, you sort of round this corner and you see Flint standing at like the mouth of this tunnel, like facing the other way, and he seems kind of like dazed almost, like he doesn't like turn his head towards the sound of your approach. And you turn this corner and you see that there's two giant spiders. Flint is still kind of like holding his gun level, like he's almost like lining up for another shot. You turn the corner and see these two giant spiders, like one's on the ceiling and one's on the floor, crawling towards you guys.
Absolute savage, dude. Connor? Connor?
He's muted.
Oh.
Oh my god, no, just like more calls from my family. I'm sorry.
Nice.
Okay, so you see, like, as you're kind of standing there in this sort of shell shock, just like a winged black blur moves past you as you see Scatha the Strong just like not flying on the ground. He's not airborne, but like just like cruising his way towards the what's it called? I'm sorry, I need to AFK for just a sec.
How's everyone doing?
Leftover pizza is good.
Ooh.
Eating a McFlurry feels good.
That I am jealous of that. That actually sounds pretty awesome.
Oreo McFlurry. I mean,
Always the best.
It's always down, right? So I figured I might as well try.
I actually don't like things that are like cookies and cream flavored. Those are like my least favorite things.
Wow.
It's always too sweet.
I switched targets from the black pudding to the cookies and cream hater now.
No, it's like the cookies and cream stuff is typically made this too sweet for me.
I can see that. It's just the texture is so much better than like chocolate chip cookie dough.
I love chocolate chip cookie dough.
I do too. I mean, I love cookie dough, like just straight up cookie dough. But like the interruption of soft with tiny hard chunks and large kind of soft chunks. Also, that was how I lost one of my teeth, and that always like traumatizes me just a little. Like I could have swallowed one of my baby teeth, and it was just in a chunk of cookie dough.
Well, that's just
unfortunate.
That however, yeah.
Chocolate
chip cookie dough always above cookies and cream.
All right.
And also, like, chocolate fudge brownie above cookies and cream.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm trying to think. I guess we'll meta a little if he's gonna leave for too long. I know a familiar can hold an item, but I don't know what the size limitation on that item is.
Probably would be due to encumbrance of the strength modifier of that creature.
Okay. I gotta find.
Or encumbrance, usually, some people say encumbrance is if the creature is small, it's equal to the weight of that creature. Or it's up to the strength modifier of that creature.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's usually your strength modifier over 10 times 5. So if you have a +1, you can carry 50 pounds. If you have a 0, you're starting at, like, I think 30 or something. Like, if you have a +5 strength, you can carry a lot. I don't remember exactly.
Okay, so here we go.
I'm sorry about that.
-4 in strength.
My mom was like, she got off the phone and she's like, okay, I'm going back to the Verizon store. And I just get like a text from my sister's phone. I'm here. I'm just like, what? Nani? Like, so Scatha, you charge your way down the tunnel, and the one on the ceiling is actually going to be the closer one to you. So roll me your attacks, please.
Breath.
Forgot about that. Thank you. So you take like a solid, like, you sort of like you meet it like right in its face with like an overarching like swinging. You actually kind of just like sever like its front leg and like severely damage its back leg as what's it called? As like a little bit of blood kind of like sprays the wall of the tunnel. So one action. So Flint, you see Scatha like charge past you and do this. Scatha, I need you to defend yourself once with advantage and once normal.
Okay. Let's go.
Baby. So Flint, you see from your point of view, like Scatha just runs and like sinks this thing like right in its face, and like point blank, like the thing goes to shoot like webbing at his head, and he kind of just like leans his head out of the way as it all just goes like flying past his face. Then you see like the other one from further down the tunnel, like shoot at him from where it is, and it kind of like goes a little wide and like sticks on the wall.
And Flint just like smirks to himself, and he just goes like under his breath, but it's still loud because he can't hear shit. He just goes, "That's my boy."
And then now your turn. You can hear now like your vision kind of returning since it's been like 10-ish seconds since you last fired preservation.
So
kind of coming back to you.
As a bonus action, I'm gonna reload.
Okay.
So I'm back to 6. Let me remove these from my inventory. And then I'm gonna holster preservation, and I'm gonna take out my rapier. And I'm gonna I don't know if I have an action after that.
I mean, putting a gun in a holster, I'm assuming it's just like a slide-in holster. Probably not too hard. Yeah.
I'm gonna attack the one that my dad's attacking, or that Scatha is attacking with my rapier.
Go for it. All right. Nice. So you see it's kind of like hanging its weight a little lopsidedly as, what's it called? Since, its front leg got severed and, like, its other leg got fucked up. And, like, you use this exploitation and it's, like, or you exploit this, like way that it's carrying itself now, in order to kind of just like you stab it like directly into one of its eyes, and like the thing just like falls limp, like chittering and like writhing like at the floor. Basically, this thing is like probably about the size of like a German Shepherd.
All right, and then I'm gonna look over at Scatha and I'm gonna say,
It looks like we got our work cut out for us, Scatha. Let's get her done.
Say it like you're deaf, though. No, I'm just kidding.
It looks like we got our work cut out for us, Scatha. Let's get her done.
All right. So it's at this point that we return. Yeah, he's got the tunnel vision, dude. He's looking at the next one. So it's at this point that we're gonna return to the party. So you all sunk your like last round of attacks into it, and the thing kind of like shuddered, but it still is making its advance. You're all standing your ground.
I don't think it matters, but there would be an extra 3 points of damage added on top of what I did before. I keep forgetting this blood domain focus thing. I need to figure out a way to how automatically add it to the spells.
Word. You keep that in mind, though.
Yeah, I just keep forgetting about it. Yeah, we decided that we were going to stand our ground. We don't want this thing to pin down the people in the room, so it's better off if we stop it here.
Okay.
You said we can only stand 2 wide in this tunnel, though, so
I was just going to ask who's
Kiri
in the back?
can stay behind us, I think. Unless Skulker wants to go behind us. I'm definitely staying up front. I can take some hits.
Yeah, I'll stay up front.
Okay.
So I guess we get one more round of range before this thing's upon us. So
I'm going to say,
go.
yeah, you get one more round before this thing is actually going to be, like, at your feet.
Pew! Pew pew!
You guys have hit, like, every attack you put into this thing.
Well, if its AC is like 8, it really is.
No, yeah, I know. I'm just like, I was thinking like, I wonder if they'll waffle like one attack while they're shooting at this thing. Nah. All right. So this black, like oozing mass just sort of rides its way up to you, and it starts what's it called? It kind of like wraps its way around like Skulker and Darrow. It wraps its way, like it starts sucking up like your legs and like up to your knees now, are like immersed in this. And I need you to take this amount of damage that I roll right now. Sorry. 5 acid damage, please.
First of all, how dare you? Alright, he has eaten through my temporary health.
Alright. You also can kind of feel like it's like eating away at like your like gear almost, like your clothes and like your like Darrow. You can feel like some sort of like fizziness in like your like metal boots, or like
I don't like that, so I'm doing this. I get this as a once per day action for being a my type of
Word.
whatchamacallit?
Tiefling.
I forget what it's called. Yes, that.
Alright.
And it uses my charisma modifier, I believe. And this is cast 7. It's like, it doesn't use modifiers at all. It's just 10 temporary hit points, and any damage that's dealt to me gets dealt back at it. But it's taking effect after that acid damage, because that was a reaction.
Alright.
Well, not a reaction, but
Yeah,
I know.
an action, but it's
you're casting this next.
Yeah.
So the air, Kiri and Skulker, you feel the temperature in the air like around you drop, and like not a lot, but like if the air temp were to just suddenly drop like 3 or 4 degrees in a space next to you, you'd probably be kind of aware of it. It would almost feel like a breeze, I'd imagine, like a slight breeze. But like a sudden like cold kind of like just hangs in the air as Darrow speaks these words and like moves his hands in this way. And what's it called? How would you two like to spend your actions?
So, did the slime technically end its turn within 5 feet of me?
It is wrapped around your knees right now. So I guess technically, yeah.
Okay, so then that last bit, I'm gonna use my reaction to like jump out of that 10 feet away.
Okay.
So that I can cast a ranged spell without having disadvantage on the roll.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Kiri, what would you like to do?
I'm just gonna fire another arrow at it. Oh, I rolled twice, sorry. Ignore it a second.
Just average the ball.
Conflicted because it's armor class 7, but it's a nat 1, and nat 1s are supposed to miss. You kind of like lazily send an arrow like skittering across the surface of the ooze, and it kind of like lands like maybe like 8 or 9 feet like further down the ooze, and kind of just like sinks its way like after like skittering there, like sinks its way lower into the ooze. Darrow, I'm gonna roll 1 more damage for you to take, possibly.
Because I'm not moving.
1 damage.
It takes, what, 1?
You take 1, because I rolled 6, and you have temp 5, right?
Temp 10. Cast at a higher level, it's cast at 2nd level.
Ah, forgive me. All right,
so
cool.
I take 6 out of my temporary, and it takes 6 back in cold.
Yes.
So
Right.
I have 4 temp left.
So, Darrow.
Me.
I need you to defend yourself.
Defend yourself.
Sorry for abandoning you, but I didn't think we'd get to make defense rolls with how that acid's just like, yeah, you take damage. What? Defense roll? No.
Mm-hmm.
So you see like a weird sort of like coalescence of the ooze kind of like rise up from the level of your waist and sort of like smacks you like across the face. And you like sort of like you're not expecting this thing to actually like make an attack against you because it's just been a writhing mass this whole time. So it sort of catches you off guard. You don't raise your shield enough. And
right, I'm pointing the shield down low, and this thing comes up like flubber and punches me across the face. Like, Nani?
Good old flubster.
So what happens?
So you're going to take 2 bludgeoning damage.
That tentacle?
And 9 acid damage.
Damn.
Alright, so that tentacle receives 4 cold damage. Possibly freezes over. So I take
you
7.
You see the strand that hit you as you feel the
thing.
magic leaving you kind of just like freezes and kind of just like drops back into the rest of the ooze and kind of just like sinks below the surface.
Okay. Yep.
That being said, you also feel like a very distinct like shudder going throughout the thing as these attacks from Skulker and the cold damage from yourself kind of like ripple throughout it.
Mm-hmm.
Your boots are now, you can feel, are actually starting to have holes eaten through them.
Can I move out of it but still be within range of it? Like, you know, it's threat range, but move out from it.
Yes, but it might, well,
opportunity attack.
So it's currently inside of my space. I should be able to move at the edge of its space, and it doesn't get opportunity on me because I'm still within its threat range. But it could just move right back on top of me.
Mm-hmm.
But there's going to be at least a couple seconds of me not standing in it.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or you could just say that because I try to move in it, it's going to hit me again. That's up to you.
I mean, if you kind of are just like standing right there, it just attacked you. Like, I don't know. It abides by the rule of you're still in its 5 foot range. So it's...
Yeah, I would like to step out of it. I would like to no longer stand in its face and just be within range of it.
So you see that like your boots are like pretty fucked up. There's like your toe is poking out from your right boot. You see like the straps around the ankles have kind of eaten away. You see your pants are also like faded and like very brittle.
Oh, I like those ones. I need to
They're
cut
about to
my
get all
toenails.
inappropriate up in here.
Curie and Skulker. Actually, no. And Darrow also, right? Is what's it called? That was its turn. It is now your collective turn.
Why didn't I ever Hunter's Mark this thing?
I was wondering that.
I
Because
just
you're
completely
like
forgot.
the best ranger ever.
Because she's a druid.
Yeah.
She likes a challenge.
I just keep on forgetting I'm a ranger.
Damn, when you say Hunter's Mark, it just makes me think of like vanilla WoW and like Burning Crusade, making a troll hunter and going to that like little fortress with like all the level 8 and 9.
I'll end my shit right now, dude.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
just hit me up. Oh, of course.
The humans in that. What
This
was that
is why I
fucking
never
keep called?
do Hunter's Mark.
Because it's a 5 out of 6?
Yeah, that's the good.
No, because I mean, trash noise. That's why.
That hits.
That hits, yeah. Its AC
His
is
AC
7.
7.
I know. But barely.
Hey, C's get degrees. 10s kill cubes.
Oh, come on. You could have done better than that, bro.
Can I kind of guess if the amount of noise that we're making is enough to kind of alert whatever is further down this tunnel that we're here, or are we being fairly quiet?
Preservation probably woke up the entirety of the next 5 kilometers.
Firebolt. Firebolt. Firebolt.
Right, but so
Firebolt.
far all they've heard is that one bang from that one area. Okay. 2 bangs. It's localized bangs.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going to do the other loud thing. God damn. It was almost a natural 20.
How much health does this thing have?
Decent amount of health.
I am just fucking Emperor Palpatining this thing with frost. Die.
So it's still creeping its way towards you. And it's gonna like, kind of like, you feel it like seeping into your boot and kind of start eating away at your foot.
God damn it, I don't want more footsie.
And you can feel that now that it's actually got an opening, it actually, like, it really, like, sinks its way, like, into the sole of your boot and, like, under your foot, like, top of your foot.
That's not good.
So,
that's not good.
As you're standing there, like, ah, like, ray of frost palpatining it, your foot kind of starts getting eaten alive.
Yeah,
And
that's really not good.
you can feel by the way it sort of loses... Like if you were watching like a balloon deflate almost, or like it kind of like as you sink these last 3 attacks into it, kind of just like sputters out and you see like it's like deflating almost, or kind of just like losing its fluff.
Whatever surface tension that is that's holding it together is starting to be lost.
Exactly. Thank you for giving me those words.
Yeah.
Yes. So with its dying breath, it kind of keeps trying to like, and like finds its last opening, but it dies with that attempt.
Okay.
So
Thank
at this
God, 'cause
point,
I only had 8 hit points left.
it's at this point that we find ourselves back with Flint and Scatha. Flint and Scatha, you've felled this one spider on the ceiling in front of you. There's now another one on the floor, like, about to be upon you. And you can see 3 more are coming from the cavern ahead of you.
Okay.
Like, it looks like first there was 1, then there were 2, now there are 3. And you see that there are still all these, like, smaller spiders, like, coming towards you as well. They just don't move as quickly as the big ones.
Guess we're fighting our way into that cavern, bro.
Alright.
Stop it. Literal machine, dude.
Yeah. Dude, he's just a runaway wood chipper, bro. He's a wood chipper rolling downhill. Alright. Roll me your attacks, please, Scatha. Oh,
My
Oh.
God.
He just makes quick fucking work of this thing, especially now that it's on the ground. The last one on the ceiling was like a bit tougher to aim because you're fighting with a battle axe, but like this thing, it's on the ground. It's fucking Walking Dead, dude. He comes down over with like an overhead arc and slams his way down into the head of this thing, and then just as it's like felled and hobbled on the ground, just repeats the strike and just cleanly severs the thing's head in 2, like lengthways.
Dude, all I can think of right now, Connor, is fucking Gimli and Legolas right now. That's it. Literally.
What? You gonna start keeping score?
No, but like this interaction right now, like he's Gimli, dude. He's like Legolas 3. And Legolas was like, I'm on 17.
17. What? 18. 19.
19.
I love their dynamic.
Favorite
Well, that still counts as 1.
42. He was already dead. He was twitching. He was twitching because my axe was in his nervous system.
Flint, how are you gonna proceed?
Flint is just like, he's like, so like he just watched Scatha just like charge forward, like with a ridiculous speed and just cleave up this spider. And Flint kind of is just like shaking his head and like laughing to himself because he's just like, I don't like, I guess I'm not even needed. But he does look at the like one of the oncoming spider that's coming up and he goes to attack it.
Okay. So you're running up to like the next set of 3 of them?
Yeah.
Alright. Go for it. Yeah, one's kind of like on the wall, one's kind of on the floor, and one's on the ceiling. Which one is that for?
That's for the ceiling.
Alright. So, you pierce the thing like right in like it's like thorax, and like you hear like a dull like almost like you kind of like caught one of its ribs or something on the way in. Spiders have ribs?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so. They probably have
have an
more of like a exoskeleton kind of thing. Yeah. Ah, wait, they're arthropods, aren't they? Alright, you know what? Fuck it. You don't hear shit other than like the sinking of your rapier into this spider, and there's like a little spurt of blood that comes out. That being said, you're about to be set upon by 3 of them, so I need you to defend yourself. Roll me the first one, and we'll see how it goes.
Oof.
So, why is this? Alright. The spider that you stabbed on the ceiling, like, in like a rage, just like lets out like a torrent of webbing, like point blank at your face. And like you're kind of just like, I guess not ready. I don't even know. Fucking, you just get like completely like brought to the ground and like plastered by this webbing. It's not incredibly thick, but like it moves with like It'd be like if someone threw like a coil of rope at you.
Okay.
Like, it could still catch you off balance, even though it's not the heaviest shit in the world.
Right.
So now
Disadvantage?
I need you to
Let's go.
Ooh.
Again?
Yeah.
Question mark? Let's go.
Damn it.
Oof. And you see, so Flint, you see Scatha, you see Flint like run past you and kind of try and like take point. Like he's like flexing or feeling himself, I guess. I don't know. He's just like he's feeling good. He gets into the thick of it and he stabs the one spider right in the face, and it just like webs him to the ground. And like the spider on the ground like begins like tries to make a move for his head, and he kind of just like rolls out of the way, and the spider from the wall literally just like drops down on top of him, and you see it just like bites at like his leg, which is like uncovered by the webbing. That will be 7 piercing damage, Flint.
Gotcha.
All right, Scatha, you're up. Okay. So the first one kind of goes a little wide. You're not used to fighting in like such a tight space. You kind of like catch your axe on the wall a little bit as you like bring it around to hit this thing. And the first one misses its mark, but the second one, like you definitely like just catch the thing like right in the square of its back as you sink the blade of your axe into the spider, and you feel it like shudder underneath Flint as it kind of like absorbs the recoil of this blow. It's still standing. The one on the ceiling is also like spraying blood as it moves. And now this one is also like leaking. So there are now 2 on the floor with Flint, and there's one on the ceiling still. Flint, it is your turn. If you'd like to try and burst out of the webbing, you can, but it will cost you an action.
Yeah, I would like to try to do that. What do
Give
I roll?
me a strength check, please.
Strength check?
Yeah.
Great, dude.
Not the worst DC.
Dude, this is so funny, bro, because it's like the complete opposite of Steve.
Yep. I was thinking the same thing.
Ah.
Yo.
So you adequately meet the number that you needed to break out of the no spectacular fashion, but with like what you're capable of mustering in that moment, you kind of just and like you feel like as you're hitting that limit, it kind of just like breaks.
Yo, 0 waste of a good roll. Nice.
So you're now unrestrained, but it did cost you an action.
That's cool.
You're standing back up?
Yeah.
All right. So it's at this point that the party rounds the corner. You two see Flint, like, climbing his way off of the floor as he's, like, ripping, like, webbing off of himself. And Scatha, like, standing, like, a fucking G over this one spider that he probably just, like, wrecked in some way or another. Their backs are to you, and they're toe-to-toe with 3 spiders, one of which is on the ceiling, 2 of which are on the floor.
Can we tell if there are more spiders on the way?
Roll me perception.
Hold that breath.
Hey, man, whatever works, you know?
Just careful not to hold it too long. Alrighty, so Skulker, you're able to see that the webs in the cavern at the end of the tunnel are still almost like vibrating or like moving about as if they're being moved on. So you can assume that more spiders are coming.
Oh, fuck.
Are coming, as in the area between the spiders I see and the area where the cavern opens up to these webs, there's no more spiders in between them.
Correct.
I need to do this, so I'm gonna do this.
Okay,
Also, it's at this point that I'm gonna ask you, the three of you, to roll initiative. I know Flint's at the top of the order, then Spiders, then Scatha.
Come on.
Okay, this makes up for a shit day.
All right,
I have
so
no
I'm just
shoes.
I'm just
like
putting tokens
13
on
health.
those. We're gonna keep it in like the sort of like
I earned these.
non-technical way I have going. These are all so I can just put you in a turn order.
Theater of the mind.
I like it better this way. I feel like it, like, I don't know, cleaner than like mincing numbers and stuff. All right.
I mean, as long as we keep track of how much we're actually doing to them, then, and they eventually die of a reasonable order, then that's fine by me.
Mm-hmm. So from what Flint and Scatha have seen thus far, takes about 2 solid blows to really like kill this thing. These things, I should say.
All right, I'm gonna cast sleep.
Which one?
What it does is it's by descending hit points. Like, whichever one has the lowest amount of hit points, if the amount 26 meets or beats that, they fall asleep, and then you subtract it and go to the next lowest thing.
Yeah. It starts at lowest hit point total creature, and then goes to next lowest hit point total creature within the range.
If the three of them combined have less than 26, all three of them are asleep.
Give me just a sec. Can you put sleep in the chat also?
Yeah, I thought that's what would happen if I clicked it, but...
You just go into the spell itself and
No, I did.
change it from attack to spell card, and then click it again.
Okay. I just made description. Okay, spell card.
Yep. That's what I've been doing every time whenever Connor... I throw a description, he says, could you roll it? I just change it from a description to an attack, or vice versa.
I'll always need whichever one you didn't put in the chat.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's why I always like roll damage and description together.
It would be nice if it did that, but it doesn't.
Okay.
Alright, so we're at Skulker right now. Turn order now accurately reflects whose turn it is, just so we're all aware. Okay. So, you see Flint. There's a spider that's like still basically on top of you, and you see like as you start getting up, it literally just like collapses on you, and you're now basically being like cuddled by a spider. As it kind of just like
aggressively cuddled,
falls asleep. And you can kind of get up, and it's like limp under you. The spider on the ceiling also falls asleep, but is then promptly woken up by hitting the floor. But it is on its back. Spiders don't do too well on their backs.
Wait, Connor, but didn't I get up though?
You did get up, so it's like at your feet, kind of. It's like as you're getting up, it falls asleep. But
Okay, gotcha.
Give me just a sec.
You sure about that waking up? Because duration, 1 minute.
Until it takes damage.
Yeah.
But just the point where it hits the
takes
floor.
1 damage.
Yeah.
Okay. It took a damage, yes.
Right, yeah. Yeah, the way to wake a creature up is you can either use an action to wake them, or you damage them and they wake up.
Yeah.
So that's the thing about sleep, is that if you cast it, you need to let your people know to stop attacking them.
Ah.
Because once they're asleep, if you hit them, they wake up.
Yes. Any effect on the third one?
Guess not.
He's thinking very deeply.
A lot of math going on.
So where's everyone sitting right now as far as health goes? Anybody below half?
20.
I'm beautifully sitting on like no damage to myself.
Yeah, well you're smart. You two are smart. I stood in a puddle of acid.
Yeah.
Scott
then-
also smart.
Also smart when he's like in the middle of the.
Rage frenzy, still
He
smart.
kills them before they can attack.
Exactly, dude. He's literally Bane. It's a wrap.
Yep, I'm at below half health. I have no spell slots left.
All right. Well, I'll give you a potion of. Well, I'll give you my potion of healing.
All right, Darrow, you're up.
Okay. There's one awake spider. No, there's two awake spiders in the cavern, right? There's one that was not affected by the spell and the one that woke up by falling off the ceiling. Is that the current status?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Are there any spider bodies that are not horribly maimed on the floor? That might seem like they might be in somewhat of a operable manner.
One of them got its head Gallaghered, like split like a fucking melon, but the other one is all right. Are you looking to raise it from the dead or something?
Blood puppet. As an action, you target a large or smaller creature that has blood within 60 feet of you. The creature must succeed on a Constitution saving throw, or if it's dead, it automatically fails. That creature then uses half its movement and attacks a creature of your choice within range.
What was the word you used? Salvageable?
Yes.
Just that word clued me into. I didn't even know about this spell, but like, oh, he's reanimating shit.
Dude,
yeah.
It's called blood puppet.
All right, no recharge. The one on the floor, you see Darrow begin like moving its hands and such, and like moving his hands and like
point my finger out from the arm that I cut open earlier, and a single small trail of blood starts to dance its way through the air towards it and slips in through one of its injuries, and then it starts like twitching and moving and sputtering back to life.
So Flint and Scatha, you feel this kind of fuzzy mass like brush up against you from behind, as like one of the spiders you just killed lazily like pushes or like disorientedly like pushes its way past you and just sinks its fangs into its companion, and it like is like eating this thing's face basically, and you see this other spider kind of like fall to the ground, the one you previously damaged on the ground. Kiri,
So
you're up.
What?
No, don't worry. That was oh, that was blood. Oh god.
I shoot at the furthest of the spiders.
Nope.
Nope, I don't. No, I don't. My hunter's mark now. Can I have a hunter's mark on a now one?
You can still cast Hunter's Mark on one,
Sick.
but
There you go.
what's it called? Yeah, it will not. What's it called? You won't get
Trigger.
any damage off it. Yeah, it won't trigger.
But next time.
Next time, though.
All right, Flint. You got zombie spider at your feet eating another spider. You got another spider on the ground in front of Scatha, undamaged, and you have a spider on the ceiling that has taken a pretty hefty blow.
That's the one that I hit initially, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to finish the job on that guy.
Go for it.
Let's go.
All right. Yeah. So you just, with one adept, just like stab, you just pierce the thing like right in between its like two sets of eyes and like just like sink it directly into the thing's face, and it just like falls to the ground on top of the one that is getting eaten. These bodies are now beginning to pile up.
Guys, I think we need to make a decision. We need to either continue on or we need to go back because we cannot stay here.
If there's no clear way forward from this path, maybe we should backtrack and do the other one.
Just pile up a few more bodies. I've got an idea involving fire. And Skulker reaches for the cask.
Oh shit!
Oh shit. So Flint.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I was gonna say this one's at Scatha's feet. So Scatha, defend yourself.
We really need to ask Scatha if there's anything we can do to like easily get him out of his friend. Oh my god!
Please roll me. Actually, nah. This thing. So basically, the spider kind of like lunges at you, like it takes off from its hind legs and kind of like leaps at you with like its fangs kind of like clicking together as it like sort of tries to attack you. But you very cleanly just like maneuver out of the way, and as it like exposes the back of its neck to you, you just see the opening and you just come down with your axe and behead the thing right there. There's a very cleanly like defensive sidestep into just a capitalization on an overextension. Textbook shit, guys. Take notes.
Dude, literally Achilles from Troy.
Yeah.
Note. Roll nat 20s. End note.
You're no fun, Josh.
So, there are still webs like vibrating like deeper in the what's it called? Deeper in the cavern, but nothing is. So, you have like a moment of breathing room right
this
now.
This path that we've been going down, has it been level going up or going down?
Level, slight incline upwards.
Wait, a brief. You mean there's nothing between us and the main area of webs?
Other
Nothing
than
alive.
a pile of dead spiders.
Wait, Connor, real quick. When we got out of the crevice, after we were getting chased by either the first black pudding or the same black pudding that was just chasing the other three, was that... Did we then go into that chamber where we found the monk sandal, or was that before the crevice?
That was
before the crevice. That was crossing the rest of the Ankeg, like spawning pit.
Right.
Can we move the corpses?
If you'd like to. You have a couple minutes, or excuse me, a couple seconds to yourselves, like breathing space.
Flint looks at Skulker, and he goes,
"Are you thinking what I'm thinking?"
No, you're thinking what I'm thinking. I thought it first. Let's
light these motherfuckers up, bro.
No, he doesn't say bro, because that word doesn't exist, but...
What motherfucker is this?
Let's get the corpses to the entrance. And let's
to the
put
entrance?
like where the cavern starts opening up to all those webs, like the area where it starts being like, oh shit.
So since you can only stand 2 wide in this tunnel, I'll let 2 of you roll strength checks for like sort of getting these piles of dead spider to the mouth of the cavern.
Scatha and Kiri.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow right behind them.
Kiri the beast.
Let's
beast!
Let's go! Alright, Dad. Let's go, bro.
And you get to Scatha while he's raging, he rolls an advantage on strength checks too.
Ew.
Yeah, so he's probably just gonna like hurl these things.
Yeah.
Needed, but
Fucking
yes.
nice.
And I'm going to dump some of the cask on it. I'm gonna like half empty the cask on the spiders and put the rest of the cask like next to it, like that sort of like
Cask
lead
is
up
half
to
full.
explode it.
Or cask half empty, depending on how you want to look at it.
Why is it half empty?
To an alcoholic, it could
You
be
been
half
drinking
empty.
from it? We left from town like it's not like a barrel that you're carrying on your back. It's like a personal cask.
It's like
we
one of
left
those
town
mini.
about 3
it's like
days
one of
ago.
those. Yeah, it's like one of those mini kegs.
Okay, then in that case,
The whole thing.
no, the opposite. I think I'm gonna empty out just enough to give myself a little trail to light, but keep most of it in the flask so it explodes a bit.
Oh no, that's what I meant. Like you're gonna use all on this maneuver as opposed to.
Oh yeah, no, the whole cask. No, I'm not saving any of the cask. I'm just debating how much of it to pour out and how much of it to leave in while leaving the cask behind.
Well,
Also, doesn't firebolt like things?
That's a called shot, and instead, I'm just gonna have my mage hand carry a torch.
Yeah.
'Cause
You don't need
we
to
ain't
pour
got
any of
time.
it out.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I'm just gonna shove a torch into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
wait, hold on a second. Is that even how physics works, bro? Or I guess.
Dude, this
chemistry?
is Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
If
but, like-
Connor says it's gonna work, it's gonna fucking work.
Yeah,
Well-
but alcohol is not explosive. It's flammable.
Alcohol vapors are.
So, are you dumping any of the whiskey on it or no?
Like I would think that
Yeah,
you need
no.
to start
Dump enough to make the spiders flammable.
burn. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
It would take the rest of what you got.
Well,
Good
then
spiders.
there's no explosion.
I don't know if there was going to be an explosion at all.
Yeah, I'm on that train.
Okay. Okay.
It's not dynamite.
Okay.
You
Then
don't have
yes.
fucking gunpowder in there.
No, but. All right. So yeah. If any of the webs are close enough, I'm gonna light them on fire with the torch as I back away, and like
Alright.
motion to everyone else, like start heading out.
But back the way we came, or what?
Yeah.
Do you want to lock yourself in with the spiders and the fire?
Unless you can burrow your way through the side of the cavern.
Okay, so we're going back
And
the way
wait,
we came.
Flint goes over to Scatha and like tries to calm him down, like tries to shake him or like slap him in the face or like just like yell in his face just to try and get him to stop raging.
Sun's going down, big boy.
All right,
I mean,
And
otherwise
then-
I'll cast sleep again if I need to.
and then Flint also goes. Wait, he has exhaustion 1. Does that limit his
Mhm.
movement speed or no? Just ability checks.
No, disadvantage on ability checks.
Okay, never mind. All right, so yeah, let's go.
All right, light it up. Give a torch to my mage hand. Wait, so if it doesn't explode, then I can break the torch back, and I don't. Oh, I'm still spending it. Yeah. No, wait, I have a tinderbox.
Yeah, just use that.
Yeah.
Too long.
How many semantics though? You would need 2 hands to use a tinderbox, right? And it's mage hand.
Yeah, a tinderbox is essentially a box full of really combustible stuff with
Yeah.
a flint and steel that you
Yes.
spark the flint and steel into the
Yeah.
tinder.
Okay,
But
so
although, depending on how good the fire steel is, that spark might be able to light the alcohol on fire.
But you
But
still need 2 hands.
then, would you think I need 2 hands to use thieves' tools?
Yes.
No.
Well,
No, you don't need 2 hands to use these tools. It's a simple pick.
no. I know lockpicking. You usually do need 2 tools.
But according to D&D,
Oh, I
Hmm.
don't know, man.
Thieves' tools aside,
I'll
for
use the
flint,
torch.
flint and steel. Yeah, I was gonna say flint and steel would need 2 hands.
Just use a torch, dude. We got torches.
All right, spending a torch, but we'll have it for light.
All right. So
Bye bye, cask of booze.
You see a single tear roll down Skulker's face.
I
as,
imagine like you know how like when like in movies where like the main character or like a side character gets like a bullet dug into their skin and they have like some inexperienced noob having to dig it out, and so like they pour the rest of it on the wound. Like that's what I imagine Skulker did. He like takes a small swig and then like cries and like throws the rest off the thing. Sorry.
So, are you guys sticking around?
Nah, imagine
Skulker would.
moving.
Yeah, let's
Like-
move.
That halfway between like lagging behind but still watching it to see. Not out of a love of seeing things on fire, just
Flint says, Skulker, come on. We gotta use the time that this fire is giving us to put as much distance as we can between us and these godforsaken spiders.
I'll catch up. I just want to make sure it works.
Yeah, I guess you do run like a dog.
Close enough.
Rough.
Did you just say rough? XD.
Yeah. Fucking take me out with a sniper rifle.
Same. Alright. So who's sticking around, who's booking? I'm assuming you're booking
Everyone.
unless you say you're sticking around.
Yeah, basically everyone's booking and I'm half booking.
I would
Then I'll
like
use-
to get out of the freaking underground because
I think it's gonna be a little couple
Okay.
sessions.
yeah.
So-
I guess we go
Just
follow
still
the
try to.
bugs now.
Yep.
So wait, you're just gonna now run down the same split in the path where all the bugs were descending deeper into the Underdark before?
Is that the only thing that we have to do? There was
The
a
only
path
thing
that was more spiders, and there was a path that was bugs.
Hold on.
Yeah, but
Hold on.
you could kind of like...
Hold on.
Get through the spiders, right?
Connor,
could've,
did
like-
since I'm lagging behind to see, do I see anything more of the effect that the fire has? Like,
yeah,
does it
the webs are
spread
starting
wildly?
to catch. Yeah, the webs are actually pretty combustible. So you see once the flames hit them, you see like the room in there is now basically brightly lit, and you hear like the chittering of like spiders and such as like you see the webs are like combusting or like
Skulker, you
burning.
better yell, bro.
And hold up. I imagine that echoes down the cavern, like the scream of spiders on fire.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah, no, you can hear that they're that
if
is working.
Flint hears that, he would definitely stop and turn around. He'd be like,
So
wait.
we're gonna give it a couple minutes and then go down the tunnel with the spiders and see if they're dead and just keep fighting our way through.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do
It's
initially.
the only
man.
way
It
that
made it a
leads
point.
upwards.
Then
Yeah,
let's,
exactly.
let's do it. Give it a.
I think it's
give it a-
working
a
better than
hot
I
minute.
expected.
Who would like to roll me 2d12?
I'll do it. Wait, is high bad or good?
He's not telling us, dude.
Objective.
Do you
Or
still want to roll it,
subjective,
or do you want me to roll it?
I'll
I'll
roll it. All right, roll it. Huh?
Alright, not bad. So, after about 15 minutes, the flames kind of like sputter and die out as you hear like all like the exhaustible or all the like you watch the flame go from like brighter and then slowly starts kind of like burning itself out, and then eventually like there's like smoke like hanging along the ceiling as smoke like hanging along the ceiling as it like drifts its way towards you. You can smell the smell of like burnt hair and like cooked flesh and like this weird almost like burnt plasticky kind of smell from the webs.
I open a flask and waft it in front of my nose.
You catch the faint whiff of liquor you once had.
Beats the smoky smell.
You're like one of those old guys that has a cigar but never smokes it.
Columbo.com.
So who's exploring the room?
Flint definitely is going to.
Yeah, same.
I'm staying
low.
away from danger.
I mean, I
Oh, yeah,
cast
you're
the
low.
fire. I'm not afraid of fire.
So you can tell by the level of ash on the floor that the chamber opens up into like a large, like relatively ovular, like chamber. Bless you.
Sorry.
Cavern. And you see now that like you're kind of at one end of this oval, and the webs were definitely thicker in the other end of this oval, as what's it called? Like towards the center, I should say, and like less thick towards the edges. So I'm just gonna move the spider next to you guys on the board for scale size. So you find a bunch of spider corpses and like smaller spiders and stuff that were burnt, and like sacks of eggs that are basically just like burnt and like mostly sooty ash. You find one spider in the room that was this big at the center.
And it is definitely dead.
And it is like burnt, and like you can see it kind of twitching, but like it's like very badly burnt because the web's caught really fast.
I smash it with my mace.
All right. The thing lets out kind of like as it kind of just like
I hit it again.
Final breath.
Until it stops making noise.
It dies again.
I bring it back to life with blood magic and then kill it again.
Farm it for experience.
It dies a third time.
Dude, how many levels is he gonna go up?
You lose a level. Cheating the system. You can't res something and kill it again for XP. So you do find like a couple like it looks like almost like some things that had like fallen from the ceiling. Mostly just animal corpses. Like either like lizards, or like you'll find like an occasional like onkeg larvae or something that looks kind of like fetid and like necrotized, and like what's it called? You find a couple of like skeletons from like humanoid races. You find like dwarf bones, like human skeleton, but like nothing too crazy.
They were clearly dead before the fire, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I still have a
And
little
then
bit
one
of
guy in the corner with burn marks on his face, like, why? Why did you do this to me?
Josh is like the only really decent human being.
Yeah, but the chamber is largely cleared out.
Largely.
It's
Can
about
I check,
as long
can I
as
check the
objects
humanoid-looking corpses to see if they have any belongings on them or metal that didn't get burned?
Sure.
Am I supposed to roll something for that? Or do I just go and look at them?
Roll me a d20 and call it high or low.
I steal from the corpse.
Low. God fucking!
You find jack shit.
I did not want that natural 20. That was a waste.
You find literally nothing.
One of my eyes is bloodshot. It's kind of distracting me.
So, you make it to the other end of the chamber, and you find like a couple like burnt and dying spiders, a couple of burnt and dead spiders. Do you guys just like execute like the ones that are like twitching on the ground as you walk past them?
Oh, if
Absolutely.
someone walks past them and it's still twitching by the time I get there, it's getting smashed with the mace.
I'm gonna let the rest of the team do all the work. I'm just gonna snuggle Shanzu.
I'm gonna say he is very aware of when the party's fighting, and like, what's it called? Definitely see he kind of like hides in the pouch that he's in a little more. So you all come to the other end of the tunnel, and it descends or starts ascending, and it follows that same trajectory that you were hoping for, and actually corrects course and starts heading back towards the northwest. Someone please roll me 1d5.
I'm on it.
So after about 3 hours of your travel time, you've gotten like a solid chunk into this day that got a rough start. You all come across a tunnel, or like you've all been following the same tunnel, and you see it now intersects another tunnel. And I need everyone to make me a perception check, please.
Lord.
Middle of the road.
Kiri, Darrow, and Skulker, all as you're sort of crossing into this like intersection of these two tunnels, you see something on the wall. It is candle wax in the shape of an arrow that Darrow drew on the
God
way
fucking
down
damn it.
here.
Yo, let's go,
Yes.
dude. I like physically as like a IRL. I'm like battered, dude. I'm done with these tunnels. Get me out of the fresh air, dude.
I actually just had like a shake of like joy go through my body hearing that there's an arrow of wax on the wall. It's like, oh yes.
So yeah,
I
Each
knew
got
this was
two
a good
null tongues out of
idea.
that.
all right.
I give
And the
Daryl like
party
a pat on the
travels the
shoulder.
rest of the way back up to the surface until you find yourself in the catacombs of Greenwich Abbey. You find the gnoll corpses you'd slain a day earlier, tongueless, still kind of just like laying and rotting.
Dude,
How'd
it's
you
only
like to
been a
proceed?
day.
Well,
No, it's been like 3.
I was
or
gonna say,
2.
excuse me, yeah, like closer to 2 or 3 days. So like it'd still just be like flesh, like rotting and decomposing.
Dude, we did so much.
Yep, I can feel.
Hey,
that
go
it's
get,
been
go
3
get some
days.
null tongues. Yeah, we each got about 2, but also,
we
holy
killed
fuck.
a big no tongue. We got rid of a portal. We whipped out a few onkeg, and we demolished all the spider webs, dude.
We definitely don't have those on-keg plates anymore. Those were dropped a long time
No,
ago.
we put them in the bag of holding last time I checked.
Mm-hmm.
We did?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
Clutch.
Clutch, dude.
So, you guys are now standing at the mouth of where this descent began.
I kicked those
No
fucking
idea
doors
what
open.
time it is.
I'm gonna just bolt towards the door and be like, I'm out. I need air.
I am walking at a leisurely pace towards the door, as if this is the only pace I can muster the energy for. If I stop, I'm gonna collapse. If I try to go faster, it's not gonna work.
I mean, we're probably still like what 2 hours out from like the actual beginning.
No.
No, we're at the beginning. These
Oh,
We're like
nice.
in the abbey.
Oh,
If you were sprinting the length of the catacombs, you could probably do it. It would be like running like, I don't
Like
know,
400?
like a 1200 or something.
okay.
Because these catacombs have been in use for hundreds of years, so they actually managed to get pretty big. But,
Oh, yo, there was like some bodies down here, right?
there was a body down here. Well, I mean, apart from the bodies that are interred here, because
No, like there was like a
Catacombs.
body that was like somewhat recently deceased.
That like the gnolls were eating on.
Yeah,
Monks.
yeah. What size is his shoe?
Oh yeah.
Or is he wearing sandals?
Is he missing a
he's
sandal?
wearing 2 sandals.
Oh,
bastard.
I don't like
That guy was
Nothing
putting
wears
the red
sandals.
iris flowers in front of each grave, or in front of each like chamber of the.
All right. Well,
catacombs.
I feel like we should bring him back to the surface so that he can get a proper burial.
All right, fine.
Kind of stinky. He's been rotten for a few days now, because he was already dead for a few days before.
We got there.
Yeah. So as long as you don't mind getting some corpse goop on your duster and such.
I'm already covered in.
Oh, who the fuck said I would
Excrement.
be the one carrying him, bro? I just
Who
said
are
we
you, who are you
should.
volunteering for this shit? He's already in the place where he needs to be buried.
Dude, maybe we'll volunteer, you know, the acid-aligned fucking Dragonborn, bro.
What
To
about let him
melt him?
just take care of it after we say it's
He's-
cleared?
I think this fellow should just rest where he is.
Seems.
He's.
All right,
okay.
we'll just tell them that there's one of their own down here. They're gonna be tight,
Alright.
bro. They're like, what? You passed them and you couldn't even fucking bring them up.
Why would you take
yeah.
him out of the graveyard? Basically.
He's not buried. He's just dead.
Right, so just leave it in the graveyard.
If
They don't
we
have to
bring
carry
him-
him back
If
into
we
the
bring him
graveyard.
up, they're just gonna bring him back down.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's a
After
ceremony that they have to go through up there before they can properly put him to rest.
Listen.
Bugs
details.
gotta eat.
Just
So are we
keep,
returning
just
this
keep
surface?
moving. Just keep moving.
I'm just moving.
Just
All right,
keep
fine.
moving.
Let's fucking go. Come on.
So, you say that as I don't know. All right, never mind. So, you make your way up from the catacombs, and it's like the first time where you see like actual light, but like light from something that isn't a torch, as you sort of emerge from the door and like the back of the abbey that leads to the catacombs, and you begin walking out into the central chamber of the abbey. You can see through the windows that it's nighttime.
It's nighttime.
There's moonlight shining through the windows. You see the door still closed at the other end of the abbey. You're standing towards the altar right now. There's a massive statue of Duena standing at the head of this like chamber, I guess you'd call it. And in case anyone would like the picture, there's a picture.
Good old Dwayne the Rock.
Dwayne the bathtub.
I'll hobble up to the statue, look up, say, well, thanks for not letting us die, I guess, but you could have made it a little easier. And keep going towards the door, and then bang on the door in a semi-intelligent fashion to let them know.
You do like
it's not... Yeah, like a bang, 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 bang. Just like, not like a stupid creature trying to break through the door. It's like, hey, I'm here.
Something with
Open up,
cadence.
please. Yep.
Hello? You
Yeah,
hear the voice
gosh.
of Brother Menlo from outside the door. Flint and Skulker and he just starts like listing off your names.
Evening, Brother Menlo.
Yeah, I want to open up.
Oh my, yes, give me just a moment, please. You hear like some fiddling with like some like a piece of like, you know, pieces of wood and like shit like that, like whatever's barricading the door, and you feel as the door opens like a rush of like cold night air like hits your face. And it's the first
Probably feels so good, dude.
first truly fresh air that you've smelled in like days.
I immediately take to the air. Just fly, because I fucking need it. For sanity purposes.
Aren't we still
And you
technically
see-
inside?
The door opened.
I mean, the ceilings in here are big enough where she could fly if she wanted to, but I assume she's
Nah, I
flying
bolt
outside.
through that door.
Brother
You see?
Mahalan.
Brother Menlo, standing before you. He's got a smile on his face, and he's alone, but he's like beaming at you guys. He's like, "Oh my God, I had been praying for you. I was so worried about you guys." He's just like he seems like very surprised that you're back, but also very happy.
And then like Flint like embellishes his brim and like puts a hand on his shoulder and it goes,
Come on, Brother Menlo. Give us a little more credit than that. We weren't gonna die to some filthy catacombs.
I should have known better than to underestimate you guys.
Well, they were
Just-
filthy before we got there.
Please,
Although
come with me. I have
Yes.
something I must give you.
we have much to discuss.
All that can wait. First, I believe you must be rewarded. You've done the Church of Buena a great service.
Oh, that'd be nice. Also, a bath, or there's lots. Let's go.
I believe Humboldt accepts guests this late, if I'm not mistaken. It's just past midnight.
Oh, that's what time it is. That's cool. It's been dark for a long time.
So, the statue I showed you guys the pictures of before, like, the one inside is, like, full and unfragmented, like that, and, like, not floating.
Mm-hmm.
He brings you all up to the fountain, and you see that there's, like, no one around, really. Everyone's, like, it's kind of late. Everyone's, like, in for the night, more or less. You can see that, he, like, bars the door behind you after you all leave. And he, like, sits down in front of this fountain, that he blessed your weapons with before you left. Says, please, have a seat.
Well, all right then. Don't mind if I do. Thank you kindly, Brother Menlo.
Darrow goes full 5-year-old, back against the ground, splayed out.
Kiri, he like beckons you down from the air. He's just like, please, here, come, have a seat next to me.
Same, I would just totally join Darrow and like being a complete child and sprawling all over the ground.
Yes, I'm sure you had quite an adventure down there.
The moment I
And
sit is the
you
moment I
see,
sleep.
he sits cross-legged in front of the fountain. Is there anyone who isn't sitting with him at this moment in time?
I mean, I'm standing nearby.
All right. If he invited you to take a seat, would you still edgelord in a corner, or like personally
not
invited
in
you?
a corner, like behind one of the seats. But
Alright.
like, seriously, if I
Alright.
sit, I'm conked out.
He's pretty insistent. Thank you.
Alright.
So he sits cross-legged in front of the fountain. He puts his he folds his pinky finger and his ring finger down, and he clasps his thumb over them, and he holds up his pointer finger and his middle finger towards his chin in like this weird sort of hand symbol. And he begins speaking like softly, but the night is quiet enough where you can hear him, and he says, Mother, please hear my plea, or Mother, please hear my plea. These individuals have gone out of their way to do great service for the Church of Dwayna and for Ascalon as a whole. Please, find it in your heart to bathe them in your light and see to it that they are rewarded. And he, like, sort of, like, takes his pointer finger and his middle finger and, like, touches the surface of the pool. You see it's, like, very, like, placid. And, like, a small, like, ripple of light. So, like, the ripple that, like, comes from his fingers touching the water has like a small like glow to it, and he says, like, he looks at you all and says, please drink. My lady will see to it that you are rewarded.
I'll go ahead and after like cocking my head, take a drink of water.
Flint like cups his hand and like starts drinking as well.
I can't cup my hands. I have bird hands, so I
You just shove your head. It's just a bird bath. You just shove your face in it and call it.
Skulker chugs a little more slowly after seeing
I would take some in with my beak.
So this is like the coolest, freshest, like crystal clear water, like straight from the spring of water when water was like created, like the purest, dankest, best, cleanest water. It's nice and cool also. You can feel it like coursing down your throat.
So is this kind of technically considered holy water? And if I touch it, does it burn me?
No.
Okay. That was what I was most concerned of.
Do you drink it as well?
Yeah, I do the whole like cat thing where it's like with the paw, like the
you bat at it
touch
first,
the top of the water, and it makes some waves. Like, it's wet. Okay.
Unless you're my cat and she just fucking comes in the shower with me, it's fine.
I'm
so jealous.
Ari does the same thing.
She's a little dog.
So
what?
Yeah.
Pause session. No, go on.
So Kiri, you're seated next to Brother Menlo, and you're drinking from the fountain, and he kind of leans over and whispers to you, and he says, give your friend a drink as well.
Anzu?
He kind of just like gestures his head at your pouch, and you see he gives you like a small like wink, and just kind of like goes back to like the stance he was maintaining.
Yo, Brother Menlo, the OG.
He knows.
She would like pull the pouch open a little bit and beckon Anzu to come out.
And you see he like the second you give him the signal, he like eagerly like darts out of the pouch, like not like he doesn't like jump out of the pouch, but his head is immediately like outside because he's aware that you're outside. Like he just felt flying. He knows we're back like above ground, and he just sees the water and just immediately just begins like gulping from it thirstily. And that's at this point where I'm gonna call session. Level 4 is a very significant level because you either get a feat or an ability score increase. Drinking from this pool right now will bless you, obviously, and also going through everything you've gone through right now will unlock your 4th level abilities and powers and such. Whatever feat you gain, consider it like a blessing from the gods, almost, or
Wait,
like
so
a
we're
token
not
of
level-
appreciation from the
We're
gods.
not level 4, but we.
No,
get...
you are level 4, but like, picture it as like the drinking from the pool is like the catalyst for hitting level 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
It's like Pokemon go through evolutions. This was your evolution.
Yeah.
I don't play Pokemon, but that's as far as my
Isn't there like a
understanding of the
stone
game.
or some shit?
I do, bro.
There are many stones, but then there's also items they could hold when you trade them, and then, I mean, that's only like up to 4th gen.
I don't play Pokemon either, so I don't fucking know.
Does that mean we are level 4, or that
Yes.
like
Yes.
will
No,
be-
you're level 4.
Okay.
As next session, you better be level 4 at the start of it.
Yeah. I'm making
we
sure it's
don't-
not like a.
Also, are we going to sleep now?
You know what? You guys want to go for just a little bit longer? We'll get the sleeping situation figured out.
Yes, dude.
Yes, I would like to start.
I feel like that'd be a
Having
cleaner
woken up.
break for next time. Alright, so you all feel immensely rejuvenated after drinking from this fountain. You all like what's it called? Like being like Brother Menlo says, like, I'm sure you're all very tired. Please, like, find yourself a rest. If you should ever need shelter or food, you will always be a friend of Greenwich Abbey. Here, he hands each of you a small pendant about the size of like, you know what, fuck it, a Bic lighter. It's it's just a small pendant of Dwayna made from like some unextraordinary metal like copper or something like that. This thing would probably be worth about like 3 pieces of copper or so. Present this at any church of Dwayna. They'll recognize you as a friend and treat you as such. Not that they would turn you away, but like, you know, you can take this to mean that like this might grant you an audience with some priest who might otherwise be too busy or something like that. Like, they won't accept you as rulers, but they'll know that you've done the Church of Dwayna a service and will, you know, take that in mind in their dealings with you. Now, I have one last thing to ask you. Would you prefer to keep this deed of yours secret? And what's it called? As you're like getting closer, there's like a patron that leaves, and like you see like warm light spill out onto the street as the door opens and quickly fade away as it closed. You enter, and you see that there's like the same jovial atmosphere that there was on the first night you arrived here. And it's at this point when you truly like, you know, you've been fighting for your lives and such, but for the most part, everything in the Underdark is like quiet or quieter. You came out to cold, you know, like a cool, silent night. You spoke with Brother Menlo, who speaks very softly. Opening this door is like getting almost like hearing one of Flint's preservation shots go off, as like the flood of like noise and merriment kind of like washes over you, and like the bright light of like the lanterns and things like that, and it like truly sinks in where you just were, how long you were there, and you're home now. And by home, the surface. The one place, I don't know, you never thought you'd be so happy to see. Yeah. So, crowded, but, yeah.
Yeah.
Flint like puts his arm around Skulker and Darrow, and he goes,
My boys, this will be a night to remember.
I want a shot and a bed.
Same.
Same, but who's paying? Because your boy got it last time.
I reach into my pocket and pull out a knoll tongue, and I'll see if they accept this. So yeah, I mean, I go up to the bartender. It's like, I want whiskey and rooms. You still have rooms? Please tell me you have rooms.
Ah, Dado. You see, it's still Humboldt Spring Breeze behind the bar, serving up drinks.
Darrow does not have his hood up. One of his eyes is bloodshot. He has no shoes.
Yeah, I was gonna say the next thing he says is, "You look like shit."
His pants are like torn spandex.
One of his arms is badly bandaged.
You all right? The rest of the gang here with you?
There should be right behind
And he kind of
me.
like, you see, he like looks over and you can immediately spot Scatha in the distance, no matter how short you are, and you're just like, oh, well, how might I help you?
How long has it been since you saw us last?
Only like
4 days.
few days. Yeah.
4 days? Yeah, it's been a long 4 days. I need liquor, and I need rooms. Can you help me?
Yes, of course.
Good.
How strong is the liquor? How many rooms?
Something that will put me to sleep, so I can sleep soundly without thinking. And how many did we have last time?
5.
Yeah, 5.
Then that. Please, sir.
Give me just a sec. I'm doing math. Because apparently that is hard.
Oh shit, what happened to all my gold?
We never had gold? We had silver.
We never started. We didn't start with any gold. That's right.
We started with 10 silver apiece.
Right, and
So,
yeah.
25 copper per room. If you want 5 drinks of the good stuff, it'll cost you a silver. But he'll give you one of the rooms for free. So it'll be 2 silver for the whole deal.
That's fine.
Alright.
Fine for me. Anyone else object?
Nope.
Nope.
How much for another cask?
He ain't the guy.
He ain't the guy?
Bars is the guy.
Oh, right.
I have
You had some
deducted the 2 silver.
elven fire water from this boy, if I remember
I'm
right.
gonna say, you see, he pulls out the ornate glass bottle and pours you each 5 glasses, or pours each of you a glass of what you know to be the elven fire water.
I
kind of
pull mine over to Skulker and say, "That one's for you," and then just head upwards towards the room.
Oh, come on, Carrie, just a sip. Sip of it.
Nah.
I pour half of her.
I don't
Wait.
know if you remember, but she is tiny.
Yeah.
I take my shot and pour a little more than half of her shot into mine and say, "Come on." Like motioning, like, have less than half of the shot.
She kind of pushes it away. Doesn't like the smell of it.
What about
Bird people.
So I picture like Kiri kind of like just checks out and like goes to her room upstairs.
Pretty much.
And the 4 of you hang around and like as you're sipping your glasses, like I picture like almost like
We
you know
found a table and are sprawled on it. Like,
you know
my
this
mace is like on the table. I am like man spreading and like half slumped down the chair, and the glass is kind of sitting on like my belly, like.
he pours you each a drink, like a drink, not like a shot. Like he poured you each like a glass of like as if you were having a glass of whiskey.
Oh.
That's why
Right.
it was
It's
so
like, would you
expensive.
like a single or a double? It's like, give me a double. Oh, here you go.
So I picture like, you know, the shot in the movies that they'll do where it'll be like a time lapse where like you'll see the characters moving at like real time, but everything else happening around them really fast.
Yes.
And I picture you guys kind of just like sitting there, like drinking your drinks, kind of just like enjoying being like alive and on the surface, as like everyone else around you has no idea of like what even happens beneath them, or like, you know, the danger that they might be in or whatever. And everyone's just so oblivious and like joyous and like having a great night. At what point do you guys decide to check out?
Within like an hour of getting.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
We're
So you
gonna
all
have
head
to come up with a
upstairs?
name for ourselves, guys.
Do I make it upstairs? What the fuck?
You are stairs. Skulker gets all the fire water in his system and just goes, yeehaw! Or like something like that. Like, night, guys! And just backflips up the stairs.
Not me.
He's like someone who has like
Goblins of-
extreme ADHD, and when they take caffeine, they go to sleep. But it said it's extreme alcoholism, so when he drinks alcohol, he's normal.
So after a couple minutes, Scoth ends up dipping out. He heads up to his room. Skulker like backflips up the stairs, and then eventually we have Flint and Darrow. You guys check out at the same time?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I think we'll finish our glass and go up.
All right. Humble, like there's still a bunch of like patrons around, but it's not as packed as it was before. People have started like clocking out steadily as the night's been going on. So it's loud, or it's quiet enough in here when Humboldt can kind of call up to you guys, like as you're going up the steps, like pancakes in the morning, like each of you. As like Carrie walks up.
I can't wait.
Carrie might not have been able to hear it because there were a lot of people. Scotha might have had a little trouble hearing it, but you three at the end definitely would hear like pancakes in the morning. So, yeah.
Been having a spider the last 2 days. Pancakes sound nice.
All right. That is where we're calling session.
Hey. Great session, Connor.
Thanks.
Dude,
There's a little bit of meandering in there, but generally that was good.
Yo, Connor, is Fey teleportation like an actual feat? Or does that exist, or is that just like some fake bullshit I keep finding online?
What?
Fey teleportation? There's
like
no
bullshit.
there's no like race that gets teleportation.
No, it's Misty Step. No, it's a feat called Fey teleportation that gives me Misty Step for being a high elf.
Elf high.
I mean, the UA feat might be a thing.
It is a UA feat.
There you go.
And that's a thing.
UA? No, it's Xanathar's.
Yeah. It looks like it's in both books, but then they must have updated it in Xanthar's because it also lets me read, write, and speak Sylvan.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much.
And increases my intelligence or charisma by 1.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
And you can cast...
Fey teleportation Xanathars, yeah.
Yep.
Increase intelligence or
once
charisma by
per
1.
month. What are you, a fucking warlock? Get out of here.
Dude, I'm gonna shoot something. I'm gonna materialize and take my second shot when I get my second attack at level 5.
You're gonna shoot something, then teleport, realize you missed, and hit yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, exactly. I'm gonna shoot something. I'm gonna teleport myself into the fucking flight of the bullet. I might as well do our health.
Hey, Connor, can you check Discord for the question and the other thing I mentioned? Doesn't have to be now.
D10 plus con mod, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Constitution plus Constitution. And remember, it's average or better.
That is better.
Paul, you can actually keep re-rolling, only because the hit die adds your, what's it called? Adds your Constitution modifier to that, so you actually didn't break 7 on the D12. Yeah, there you go. Seven flat.
What is my hit die? The D8.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we go. That works. 7 plus 3. That's a 10.
Okay. Now I have to consider getting Warcaster. Yeah.
Warcaster's pretty good. I'm probably just going to do ASI Wisdom. That way I can prepare an additional spell.
I don't know, I think I might just want to take the ability score improvement.
Yo, Lucas.
Yeah.
So was tonight your last session, or you got one
Hi,
more?
Paul.
No, I got a few sessions left. This is like my last month of D&D.
Oh, when you said this is your last month, I thought April.
No. My bad. I meant May. Because like starting June 1st is going to be busy, and the last weekend of May, like the third to last weekend in May might be my last one. Actually, no. We play on Mondays. What am I talking about? Yeah. So this will be my last like month of D&D. So we have like, let me check the calendar. I think we have like 4 sessions left with me, as long as nobody else has to cancel for any reason.
Right. Well, the con is the only important one. Not to be mean, but
Good night, Pops.
Good night, Dad. I love you, bro.
Yeah, Paul. On that note, I'm also going to dip. If anyone has any questions or anything, feel free to message me. But I got a AFK. I have one very angry cat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What's Sylvan, by the way?
Sylvan
it's like
is
the language of, like,
language of the elves.
What's Elven then?
No, Sylvan
Sylvan
is the language of the Fae.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Elvish is the language of the elves. Sylvan is the language of the Fae. It is rumored that the elves used to speak Sylvan in the old days.
And then they
and then the elves split from the race of
So like
of
Sylvan
Fae.
Sylvan is like the Latin of this world.
Yes.
Or like the Elven language.
Exactly.
Alright.
That's cool.
I gotta go. So I'll see you guys later.
That was fun,
Bye.
guys. I'll talk to you guys next time.
Absolutely good game.
GG. I'm glad no one died.
Same. Although my rolls were kind of looking like I might die.
They picked up toward the end. You were getting some solid.
Only when I make attack rolls.
They were good when they mattered.
Play your strengths.
I'll see you guys next time on an episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Yep.
And by that I mean the other campaign because
Yep.
Yeah.
Can't believe I have fucking wings, dude. The fuck?
Lol.
No, I did not, dude. I did not ask for that. I didn't even mention literally nothing. I didn't make anything. Only the sword, dude. That's all I did. And fucking Michael came up with everything.
Nah,
else.
Kitty knows how to like write stories and like take things beyond.
That sword does is all Kitty. I literally was just like, dude, I want to that sword could have been just as strong as a longsword the entire time, and I would have been fine with it. But Kitty was like, nope, we're going to make it cool. And I was like, okay.
Kitty always makes things cool. Alright, I'll see you guys later.
Wait, hold on, Ego, before you go,
Yeah.
it's going to be, I know what it's going to be. It's literally going to be like in Seven Deadly Sins, the movie, where like they all combine their shit to like fucking kill the D. That's what it's going to be like in our campaign. Like, we're all going to be like, you guys, everyone down. I'm gonna have like 2 health left, and you guys are just gonna give me the rest of your strength, and I'm just gonna fucking exhaustion 6, sacrifice myself so that.
I don't know if it's gonna be that easy, honestly. I think he's gonna.
It's not.
Yeah.
Nah, it's gonna be difficult. Whatever it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna be real hard.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you guys later. I'll talk to you later. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Alright, you guys, that will be it for us today. Have a good morning, evening, night, depending where you're from, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.